hello, what's up this afternoon, everyone? Welcome. Fine Tuesday to you all. Good to see ya. What is up, Stone Rain and Galaxy and Lucid? How are you, Lucid? Carton Bags, how is everyone doing today? Hopefully everyone is having an amazing week. Oh man, I'm pretty excited. We're doing some moderning today. Got a couple, actually 3 decks. I'm sure we won't get through all of them, but 3 different modern decks that I'm kind of really hyped to try out. So we're gonna have some fun in modern today. Stone Rain Productions, welcome back to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you. So last week we missed our stream, but there was a good reason. It was Modern Horizons 3 Surprise Spoiler Day, and I've been waiting a whole week to ask you all about this. What do you guys think of the cards we've seen from this set so far? Like, is this set, like, incredibly busted? This set seems really busted to me. I guess, so comparatively, maybe not as busted as Modern Horizons 2, which would be a good thing, but some of these cards, like Ugin's Labyrinth, seems like just a ridiculously absurd card. Like, why would you possibly print this card? It's very memey and very busted. That is a good way to put it. There's a lot of janky references, like all the like iconic creatures is Eldrazi stuff, the Null Drifters and the Spawn Gang commanders. But then there's just like ridiculously busted cards. There's lock pieces. There's Worms Chant coming to Modern. We can Scepter Chant people. Yeah, the new that one hasn't been officially spoiled yet, but yeah, the new Flipwalkers seem really sweet. Oh, this set's gonna be so good. I'm pretty sure I said this on social media, but I'm pretty sure that this is gonna be one of the best summers of Magic. Between MH3 and also Bloomborough, oh my goodness, do we have sweet sets coming up. Warnabob, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer, thank you. Looks a little bit like a commander set. I mean, in one hand, everything is a commander set these days. Like, everything is a commander set. On the other hand, I remember people saying that about Modern Horizons 2, and Modern Horizons 2 just straight up broke Modern. Like, so, a set can be it can be a commander set, or like have cards for commander players, but still be incredibly strong and impactful in Modern. So I think it can do both. I think it can actually do both. It is weird that there's commander precons for the set. That, like, just the sentence, Modern Horizons commander precons, it's like oxymoronic, isn't it? Like, it doesn't even, like, it doesn't add up. It doesn't make any sense. So that part's really weird, but the set does look sweet. Dylan Hunter for the 53rd month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. I feel like the red Emerge Eldrazi from MH3 is underrated. I think it could spawn a new Tron variant, like mono red, that's all about chaining red ritual style creatures together, like Priest of Urbrask and Burning Trees. Ooh, that sounds sweet. I thought about trying to, like, chain together card draw, like big card draw creatures, but chaining together like Burning Trees, that sounds pretty sweet too. Yeah, the frog's really good. The frog, oh, this set's so sweet. What's your favorite card from the set so far? What are you most hyped for? I mean, we still have 2 weeks until spoiler season starts, but we got a big sneak peek, and I love almost every card. Like, Kudo's super cool. The reprints are super good. Do you like White of the Reliquary? I was surprised to hear, like, on the podcast yesterday, Richard really didn't like it. I think this style of naming is actually really funny. I like Champion of the Perished. Like, I thought that was a clever reference to an old card, and I feel like this is kind of the same. Like, I like Null Drifter and White of the Reliquary. I think it's kind of a cute callback or whatever. I don't know. Like, we live in, like, shoot the sheriff world. Like, there's so many memes in Magic. Null Drifter is not going to be the thing that puts me over the edge. Turn 1 Chalice is back. It is back. The land is the card that scares me. Like, I think a lot of these cards are powerful. Ugin's Labyrinth, I think, is broken. Like, I think that card gets banned. I don't know. I could very well be wrong. That's a problem with making spoiler season predictions, is sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. Could very well be wrong, but I think a card's absolutely busted. I don't know what white just makes me sad. I love, KOTR. I don't want to see her dead. Oh yeah, I guess that's true, right? That does mean that Night of the Reliquary is a zombie, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't matter anymore. Like, Elspeth dies every other set and comes back, so the lore of Magic, it's like a sitcom. Like, at the end of the episode, everything goes back to being okay. So I wouldn't read too much into Night of the Reliquary, because it very well might not even actually matter. Why are my headphones so messed up? Let me see. Did I just mute myself? I might have just muted myself. Hello, headphones. Hello. I think my headphones are dying. Hey, Seth, I have a short combo idea. Flare Denial, Agent of Treachery, free win and timeless for show and tell. You cheat on the agent, take the omniscience. When they get born upon the when you counter it, get the omniscience. Ooh. I actually like that. I do think that Flare is going to be really good at timeless. That might actually be better in timeless than in modern, as weird as that sounds. Anyway, let's do our reminders. Today we're playing some modern. I'll show you the decks in just a minute. We got some sweet. I'll let you vote actually, or we can decide which one to play. My impulse was the Blood Moon deck because I like the Blood Moon deck, but I'll show you all three of them when we decide which one we want to do. Don't worry, I trust the judgment of the guy who said Baby Jace is bad and Circle of Loyalty is OP, but Knights variant. Knights, they were gonna be good. It's not my fault Knights were bad. Replay YouTube. I did say Jace was bad, didn't I? Replay YouTube. That might be my worst prediction, actually. Is that the worst one? I mean, I know there's a ton of them. Like, if you make spoiler videos and talk about new cards all the time, you're gonna get stuff wrong all the time. Jace might be one of the worst. I'm trying to think of anything else that lines up with Jace. Arclight. I remember being really down on Arclight Phoenix. I remember calling Fury the worst of the Evoke Elementals. Those three stick out as being pretty big whiffs. Circle of Loyalty, yeah, okay. That one, like, Circle of Loyalty is bad because the rest of the cycle ended up being really good and it was bad. Although, at the time, I thought that Knights would be good. I thought that Wizards, you're not going to make a Knight set and not make Knights be good enough to see play, but it turns out they made a Knight set and made it so Knights weren't good enough to see play, although even that might not be a good defense, because even when Knights did see play, no one played Circle of Loyalty, so maybe it didn't even depend on Knights. L Busy, welcome to the Fishbowl for the second month. Thank you for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you. Replay YouTube, as we find all the old streams. Normal YouTube, tons of sweet stuff coming up on the YouTube. There's been some really fun decks lately, so keep an eye on the YouTube for all that. A reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom, and if you need some magical cards, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Even get a free goldfish sticker. Just let them know you want one in your order notes, and they'll hook you up. So thank you to Card Kingdom for supporting the show. And that is time to talk about our deck. So what deck should we play today? We're going to play some Modern. Oh, also chat, before it gets crowded in here, question for you. How many of you play Magic online? Do many of you? So I have a few giveaways of play points for Magic online. Daybreak Games hooked me up with some codes to give away. You get 1,200 play points, I believe, which is enough to do. Wait, is it 1,200? It can't be 1,200. 120. It's enough to do a draft, basically. You can do any draft or like constructed league you want to. 120 play points. If any of you play Magic online and you would like some play points, I have 4 or 5 of them to give away. So I just want to make sure they go to people who play Magic online, because if you don't play Magic online, they're useless for you. So if you play Moto and you are interested in some free play points, I might be able to hook you up. Alex Mateo, welcome to the Fishbowl. Alex Mateo, I got you. I'm going to send you a message right now. Hang on. I got you. Alex Mateo, some free play points coming your way. Let's see. Actually, okay, Alex, will you send me... Let me make sure, is this you? I also don't want to send to the wrong person. Kamikaze Gopher, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. Thank ya. Okay, so here are our decks for today. So let me know which of these you want to see first. So number one, my first impulse is always go with the Blood Moon deck. So this is Magda Moon, I guess I would go with. So this deck, it's built around Magda the Horde Master. So Magda, when you commit a crime, you get a treasure. The big ability in this deck, though, is sack 3 treasures, make a hasty 4/4 Scorpion Dragon with flying. So you can see our deck, Ragavan makes treasures, Strike It Rich makes treasures, Magda makes treasures as we target our opponent with Lightning Bolts and Mishra's Bauble. So hopefully Fable the Mirror Breaker makes treasures, so we make a bunch of treasures. We Blood Moon our opponent so they can't do anything, and then we just use Magda to make a bunch of hasty dragons and smash our opponent down. So that's deck number 1 is some Magda Moon for Modern. Deck number 2 is also very intriguing. This is O'Hare Axelon. I guess it's a stack sort of. This deck is so weird, and I have no idea if it'll work, but I found this one from an infamous small Japanese tournament. So O'Hare Axelon makes it so if a red source would deal damage, instead of dealing its damage, you deal 4 damage, essentially. Damage equal to its power. This deck has Mage Bane Lizard. When a player casts a non-creature spell, It deals damage equal to the number of spells they cast, but that's actually going to be 4, not 1. We have Scalding Viper. Whenever a player casts a spell mana value 3 or less, it deals 1 damage, but it'll actually be 4 with O here out. We got Cemetery Gatekeeper. When a player casts a thing that exiles, it takes damage. We have Eidolon of the Great Revel. When your opponent casts a spell mana value 3 or less, you take damage. So the idea is you stack up a bunch of these effects, and then you just play an O'Hare Axelon, and it's like, if you cast anything, you're gonna die. It's just gonna deal so much damage that you pretty much die on the spot. So that's deck number 2. Crazy Goalie, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. But it gets even worse. It gets even worse. The last deck, this deck is such a pile. In this deck, this is like against the odds. Also from an Infinite Small Japanese tournament. This deck, I don't even know what to think about it. It's a Karuna deck, but it's a Hellcarver Demon deck, and it's a Heartless Summonings deck. The best that I can tell, you're trying to Heartless Summonings, or either like reanimate a Hellcarver Demon. Hellcarver Demon, when it deals combat damage, you sack all your permanents and discard your hand, but then you get to cast the top 6 cards of your library for free. So you get down Hellcarver Demon, you hit your opponent, and then sack all your stuff and hope that you find like some Grizzlebrands and Slumgars and Tassigars and other big things. Or maybe you just sack your stuff and hit a bunch of Tome Scours and die hilariously. All the decks are so incredibly janky. So which one are you most excited for seeing first, Fishbowl? My fish is bad for the 34th month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Crazy Goalie, thank you to you as well for the 3rd month. I did my first OTJ draft on Arena, and my first 3 picks for all Insatiable Avarice. Ooh. I mean, at least it's a good constructed card, right? I don't know how good it is in draft. Is 3 of them good in draft? Garuda sounds fun. Magda. All right. I mean, we might get to play multiple decks too. Let's start with the Blood Moons. Blood Moons were promised. Let's start with Magda, and we will go from there. I want to see mismatched Blood Moons. I mean, you gotta have mismatched Blood Moons. I very carefully selected these Blood Moons. We have a Mystical Archive. We have a 9th edition. We have an Amonkhet Invocation. All right, so this deck. We're gonna start with this deck. Do you think the article from last week on the MH3 spoilers was made so Wizards doesn't make the same mistake as the Pinkertons? I think that Wizards just realized people. I feel like the thing with leaks has changed. Like, I feel like the internet's so big now that when leaks are at the top of Reddit, it is silly for Wizards to pretend like they don't exist. Like, I was noticing, I don't tweet about leaks. Like, I will tweet that the leaks exist and tell people where to find them, but I won't just, like, tweet the cards or anything. And I saw people tweeting the leaks and getting, like, hundreds of retweets. It's just different than a few years ago. I feel like a few years ago, the ethics or the morals or whatever the community was, if there's a leak, I don't want to know anything about it. But I feel like that's changed now, and, like, people are just okay with leaks. So I think Wizards, maybe they just realized, like, everyone's looking at these cards anyway. They're looking at these really bad images of the cards, and people are throwing in fake cards, which are causing problems. Like, that's the other issue with all this, right? Is people started, like, spoiling brainstorms and, like, these ridiculous cards that Wizards obviously isn't going to put into Modern. And it was really confusing because how do you know which of the potato quality leaks are, like, real, which ones are being faked? So I think that's what forced Wizards' hand to have to do anything about it. I think they did it well. Like, I think with Wizards, if there's a leak, like, you don't have to scrounge the dark corners of the internet to, like, find some leak that no one's heard of. Like, whatever, that doesn't matter. Like, if there's some leak on 8chan or something and no one's talking about it, who cares? Like, that's not a big deal. But once it's, like, so public and everyone's seeing it and it's on the top of the main, like, WotC supported Reddit and everything, you might as well just embrace it like they did. I think they did the right thing in this case. Anyway, so what's this deck trying to do? So first off, we're trying to stick a Blood Moon, one of our 4 mismatched Blood Moons, and essentially just not let our opponent play Magic. So that's goal number 1. We can even get it down on turn 2 with Strike It Rich or with Ragavan to make a treasure token. So that's goal number 1. Goal number 2 for winning the game, as I mentioned before, is Magda the Horde Master, our new Outlaws of Thunder Junction card. So Magda, the big ability is sack 3 treasures, make a hasty 4/4 Flying Scorpion Dragon. So ideally, we'll, like, get a few treasures on the battlefield, Magda, immediately make Hasty Dragons, win the game, and that's essentially the deck. Otherwise, we got, like, Fables, and we got some Ragavans, Dragon Rage Channelers, just some good red cards that support our plan. So let's give it a shot. Let's see how Blood Moon can do. Hopefully, we play some Primeval Titan decks. I have a lot of opinions about leaks. I think it's our prerogative to run spoiler seasons ourselves if we have the data. Yeah, I know. So one of the one of the things I've always heard about people about leaks, and I think it's like a misconception actually, but one of the things that people say is, well, it hurts content creators. And my experience is not everyone's experience, so I don't want to generalize. Maybe there's people that get hurt by it. I guess that's possible, but my experience is people really don't care about your exclusive spoiler content. Like, if you look on the YouTube, a lot of times, like a gameplay video, 50,000 people, 100,000 people are going to watch a gameplay video. When I make an exclusive spoiler video, it gets like 7,000 views, 8,000 views. People just want to see the cards. They just want to see the cards. That's pretty much it. So I really don't think that content creators are meaningfully hurt. I think that a spoiler being given to a content creator, it's a nice, like, it's a nice little boost to your, like, it feels good. It's a nice boost to your ego. It's like vindicating that Wizards noticed you or something. But I don't think, as far as like getting views to your content, I don't think spoiler content actually has a meaningfully big impact, at least for me. Maybe it's different for other people, but my experience is it doesn't actually drive like a huge amount of content to anyone. I think everyone goes to spoiler sites. I mean, that's it, right? Like, what most people do is they go to MTG previews or MTG spoilers or Mythic spoilers or one of those sites and just looks at the new cards, or they see them on Reddit or something. I think that's how most people interact with it. The one day I work in the last 5 days is when the stream starts. My luck is terrible. Mega Magic. Wow, we have the, oh no. Oh no. Are my hotkeys? Oh, this is going to be bad. Okay. Hotkeys. How do we do this? There's got to be, oh no. F2. No. Okay. Pass priority F2. 5. It shouldn't be 5. Remove all yields. Oh dear. Pass until you can respond. So that should be F2, right? I think. Pass through this turn F6. All right, that might be good enough. We'll try it. This is the account from Daybreak Games that has all the cards in it because of the creator program. This is the first time I've used it. So I actually don't have any idea if the hotkeys are going to work properly. How's this hand look? Did I change my moto? No, this is the Daybreak account. I'll have to change it back. Hopefully I have the avatars. This is just the first time I've used it. I like spoiler content when they talk about what EDH decks the new cards might go in. Otherwise, I'll just look at the spoilers. Yeah, that's a good way to handle it. This hand, so we got two Magdas. We got no Blood Moon. We can do some criming. So turn 1, nothing. Turn 2, Magda Bobble. Yeah, we'll try it. Let's try it. I don't know if we should keep this or not, but I think it's close enough. About it. Oh, so chat, I got a question for you. Ario SW, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big subscription for you. Thank you. I got a question for you, chat. So we've been having some conversations about Commander Clash. Oh no. No, you're supposed to pass F2. Oh no, is this not working? F2. Oh, I gotta hit save. Okay, let's see if this works. I gotta have my F2. Hey, there we go. Good job, Moto. So, is blood money a crime? Ironically, it is not. So here's my question, chat. What do you think about Armageddon effects or mass land destruction effects in Commander content? So we've been having this conversation about should we start playing Armageddons on Commander Clash? Like, as far as content goes, would it be entertaining if you're someone watching a game of Commander to see Commander games with Armageddons? Because Armageddon is so not socially acceptable. We're just going to do Mishra's Bobble, which somehow is a crime. The least impactful crime in Magic. Ooh, wait. I think we actually... Oh, that's our opponent. I was getting excited. I was like, oh, our opponent's Yagi, and we're going to draw our Soul Cauldron? That's so sweet. But no, it's our opponent's Soul Cauldron. Hey, Seth, I'll send you my CDH Zergo Helm Smasher list. So I'd prefer an Armageddon over Single Isochron. Single Isochron's kind of brutal. Wait, F6 doesn't work? These hotkeys, I'm telling you. Magic Online. Yield through this turn. F6. Thank you. Can we do it? Can we do it, Moto? Hey, there we go. Kiza, welcome to the Fishbowl. Do we trust ourselves to Armageddon responsibly? No. I mean, sort of. More than someone I've never, like, a random game, I guess, but I mean, you gotta remember, this is me. Back when I first started playing Commander, I didn't know the rules of Commander. I didn't know you weren't supposed to play Armageddons. So if you go back to the early seasons of Commander Clash, I would definitely just, like, run a Jockle Hops because I thought it was funny. Like, I'd play Jockle Hops in Cataclysm. Cards like, I just run a Jockle Hops. No plan for it or anything. Just like, I'm going to blow everything up. What you going to do about it? So would I always use my powers responsibly? Probably not. I sometimes would, but not always. How do we not die to Yogg coming down this turn? We can't just make treasures. Does that even do any? All right, let's do this. Let's play Volatile Fault. And then we can play Dragon Rage Channeler. And then we can Ren's Resolve. Okay, we'll keep the Bobble. We'll keep the Bobble because it crimes and it's free. No attacks. Is this skipping our turn? No. All right. Mishra's Bobble. Dual Surveillance. Oh, Lightning Bolt is good. Oh, that actually kind of works. All right, crack the Bobble now. And then we'll draw the bolt on our opponent's upkeep. Opponent's running a Forest. Does a bolt even save us here? I don't know that a bolt even saves us here. Delphi Guru, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big thank you. MLD games feel annoying as content because it's like watching a board stall with a bunch of board wipes, so it depends. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, on one hand, I've played really interesting games that involve mass land destruction. Those games happen. I've also played very miserable and unwatchable games involving mass land destruction. So my fear is, like, if we started playing mass land destruction, some games would probably be really interesting, but then there would also be some really unwatchably bad games, and I don't know if it's worth the cost, right? Like, I don't know if the upside of occasionally it's interesting and it's unique because no one else plays it is worth all the bad games that we would also endure along the way. Well, they turned on our DRC. That's something. We're one treasure away from making a hasty 4/4. Oh, does Blood Moon even matter? It doesn't actually even really matter. They have so many actually, Blood Moon would kind of matter. So if we play a Blood Moon, they don't have Yogg mana currently. All right, let's Volatile Fault. Oh, how many basics does Yogg play? Is there any argument for Volatile Faulting here? We would get a treasure out of it. It also costs some mana, though. So we pay one, sack it, blow up the... How many basics do they usually play? Let's look at a Yogg deck list. I'm actually curious. It's probably more than 2. Is it 2? Yeah, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's probably 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it looks like 3 is the default. Well, in that case, all right, we'll just 1, 2, 3. Play a Blood Moon. Do a little surveilling. Keep the Ren's Resolve. And then kill the Grist. And then play the Ragavan. We don't really want to spend our treasures because we want to turn him into a dragon at some point. All right, Ragavan, go. I see Blood Moon and I like it. Surely new Winter Moon will be added to this deck in the future. Honestly, if you want my hot take about Modern Horizons 3, I think that Winter Moon is not a very good card. I don't think Winter Moon's that good. I think it's actually like pretty narrow. So creatures with counters are going to have Grist's ability. That's probably not ideal for us, I would say. So Wall of Roots becomes a Grist. And it makes an insect. And then they play even more Grists. Oh, God. So many Grists. I think it'll be good in monocolor commander decks, but I'm not convinced it's good in modern. Like, maybe there's specific decks that can take advantage of it, but I actually think it's not very good in modern. All right, opponent's going to kill the DRC. How do we get rid of this Soul Cauldron? What a weird world where this is getting +1/+1 counters and removing +0 or -0, -1 counters. Normally the counters would cancel each other off, but Wall of Roots is such a weird old card it doesn't actually work. I think are they gonna destroy Arena? I feel like I'm really concerned. I don't know if you looked at the leaks. So we talked about the official spoilers. I don't know if you looked at the leaks. If you looked at the leaks, it seems like they're actually putting all the Evoke elementals onto Arena, which blows my mind. Like, do we really want grief scamming on Arena? Do we really want Fury on Arena? I am actually like very, very concerned about that plan. Yeah, I mean that's what the leaks look like. Is the special guests have all five of the elementals. We have a new donation from McGarry, $10 donation. How long do you think it would take WotC to reverse their decision on rotation? I assume they wouldn't reverse it anytime soon because of how it would look. So I don't think we're close to them reversing their decision, McCurry. I think it can happen very quickly. We saw that when they extended rotation. When they extended rotation, it happened really, really fast because people stopped showing up to events, or they thought that people stopped showing up to events. Let's play Fable. Play Fable, make a dork. Lightning Bolt the Grist. Get it off the battlefield. And yeah, we'll just pass the turn. These Wall of Roots Grists are going to be an issue. So we saw when they made rotation shorter and then people freaked out, they reversed course in like a matter of months. It happened really fast. In this case, though, people seem to like standard. Standard tournaments have been getting lots of players. So I don't think we've seen like the disaster that would make Wizards reverse course right away. So I think if they reverse course, it's going to take a downturn in standard that is noticeable to them and hits their bottom line. And I just don't think that's going to happen now because standard is actually like in a pretty good place. So I think that's kind of the issue. I'm still not convinced that their rotation changes are what made standard good. I think it's kind of uncorrelated. How many cards do we discard? What a weird... We need to... Does our deck have any way that we can get rid of this Soul Cauldron? If our opponent didn't have this Soul Cauldron, we'd actually be in a really good spot. I'm curious what y'all think, though. Like, I asked this on social media the other day. Hey, what's up, Gornius? How are you? I asked this on social media. We're a year in, right? We're a year into these rotation changes. How do you feel? How do you feel about where Standard's at now? Because I will say that Standard has been pretty playable lately. Like, more playable than I would have thought, if that makes sense. Like, Standard's been really enjoyable. Like, better than it has been in quite a while. So many Ren's Resolves. Well, let's Ren's Resolve. I'm not even sure Another Blood Moon and another Magda. Well, all right, go to combat. Go to combat, get him with the Goblin. The problem is our opponent is now getting the ability to produce mana of other colors, which is an issue. Oh, opponent. Like, they can actually play Yogg now because of Delighted Halfling. Opponent blocks with the Wall of Roots. Well, let's just Ren's Resolve again. Ooh, wait. Okay. Lightning Bolt and Holy Heat. But if we kill it, they just exile it to the Soul Cauldron. All right, let's pass and see what our opponent does. All right, opponent. No Yogs. I went bronze to play with Doppelgang Burn deck. The Doppelgang Burn deck is so much fun. That's still my favorite standard deck I've built in quite a while. Arena Standard is really hard to get back into if you haven't played the format in a while. Yeah, that is a concern. That is a concern, and I'm not sure. Thank you again, McCurry, for the donation, by the way. That has been a problem with Arena for a while, and I'm not sure what the solution is. Soul Cauldron's a really good card. With Grist in specific, boy, we're getting overwhelmed. Opponent gonna turn everything into Delighted Halfling. Okay. Are we just dead? Like, should we be giving up? They have so many Grists. And the Grist mill to make more Grist. Opponent gets in with the Insect. And the Halfling. I mean, I guess we'll kill the Halfling. I just don't know how we get out of this. We can make some hasty dragons at some point, I guess. Opponent, Orcish Bowmaster. Things continue to get worse. Can we I mean, that's our game plan as of now, is to try to. The problem is we can not make that many dragons. And all of our opponent's things are Grists, because they all have counters. So our opponent just makes like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They get to make 5 1/1s a turn for free, because we can't answer this. We can't answer this Soul Cauldron. We can make a dragon, which is nice, I guess. So we can play the Magda. Sack 3 tokens. Make a hasty dragon. We can Unholy Heat. The Wall of Roots. Is that what we unholy? Yeah, let's get the Wall of Roots. Make a treasure. Okay, opponent's gonna make a food. Agatha Soul Cauldron is just dominating this game. And then we gotta bolt something, because we're gonna lose it. So Lightning Bolt. Actually, can we get another? Is there a way to get another dragon out of this? Not really. I'll bolt the Insect, I guess. Make a food token. By the way, Seth, are you planning on revisiting Doppelgang? If you're planning on revisiting Doppelgang, do you consider playing Oko the Ringleader in there? So many times him becoming the second Terror of the Peak seals the game. Ooh. Yeah, I can see that. Like, I think if Oko's going to be good, that's probably the kind of situation where it would be good. Like, that makes sense to me. Like, I think the ability that can make it work is a deck where copying a creature, yeah, and getting the hexproof copy of a creature is what makes Oko good. So yeah, I think that'd be fun to revisit. I've given up on Oko as just a standalone powerful card. Like, I don't think it's that kind of planeswalker. I don't think it's the kind of card you can just jam in any deck and get value out of. But I do think it could have uses in a situation like that. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing about the 3-year standard, right? We've seen upsides of it. There are benefits. Like, cool cards like Doppelgang stick around for 3 years. The 36 Wrath deck wouldn't exist in a normal standard. The, like, exile all the cards from your library deck wouldn't exist in a 2-year standard. So we've seen upsides from it, too. Honestly, I feel better about it now than I did a year ago. Is it what I would choose? Like, has it won me over to the extent where I think, yeah, this is awesome, I hope it stays this way forever? Not yet, but I will say it's been better than my expectation was. Like, it's better than I expected it to be. Oh, please. At some point, we're just modern. 4-year standard. Oh, if they canceled rotation again, they can't, right? There's no way. There's no way they would do it again. I don't think they do it. Oh, all right. So opponent got a Yogg under the Soul Call. I mean, yeah, we just couldn't beat the Soul Cauldron. And now our opponent wins the game, right? They're just infinite. I guess they don't have a Blood Artist. I don't think there's any way we can win from here. I mean, that's the downside, right? There are going to be Wandering Emperors that are still around. Like, Sheoldred, Sunfall. There are cards that are just really heavily played and kind of annoying that are going to, yeah, all right. I think our opponent's got this one, unfortunately. Soul Cauldron's just too much value for us to keep up with. And now our opponent's team's huge. They're attacking for a ton. Even if we play a Magda, they can just go back to looping things. Because look at the amount of text on this Young Wolf. Look at the amount of text. Well, okay. We did make a dragon from with Magda. Got him. Well, Unlicensed Hearse comes in for sure. Brothers at End, maybe? Brothers at End gets most of their stuff. Maybe Explosives is just better. Explosives on 2 probably gets even more of their stuff. What do we cut, though? Is Blood Moon even good? Not really. It's pretty medium. Oh, are we actually cutting the Blood Moons? That's a whole reason we're playing the deck. No, so actual Wandering Emperor is rotating. That is very true. I was meaning more like there's going to be cards that we've seen heavily for 2 years that remain in the format for another year. So like, just like Wandering Emperor would have rotated a year ago, this time I think it's going to be like Sheoldreds and Sunfalls and some other cards you're like, all right, I've seen this plenty of times. Like, yeah, it's getting a little old now. But they're still going to remain in the format for another year. So those are the cards that I think are going to be like the Wandering Emperors of this year. Cards that would have rotated and you've seen a ton, but now they don't rotate. But Standard's been in a good enough place that maybe it's fine. Still, it's so funny that it seems pretty random. Blood Moon held Magda back. In the sense that we couldn't Volatile Fault, yeah, I guess. Although, I don't think the Volatile Faults were gonna save us there. Volatile Fault seems pretty. I mean, this deck it's committed to the treasure plan. I will give it that. It is committed. So it's a pretty horrible Ragavan matchup. Looking on a Ragavan, they have so many blockers and Bowmasters. Hey Seth, how often do you check your Goldfish email? I had a funny idea of a deck. I was wondering if you saw it. When did you send it to me, Near Pixel? I went through a bunch of, like, I think I went through the last couple of weeks of emails. Monday, yesterday. So if it was recently, maybe send it again, because it might have gotten lost somehow. Well, we can't keep the Zero Lander. Oh, magic gods. All right. I can't keep the Zero Lander. All right. Can't keep the Zero Lander. We did it. Oh, boy. Bottom, and I guess bottom. Well, off to the races. Ouch. Ouch, 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 ouch. Hey, Seth the Jet, what's your favorite card from Thunder Junction? I'm loving Jason, the new Kellen joins up. Those cards are cool. I was actually just working on this might be a non-game here. I was actually just working on a deck featuring those cards. It's really sweet. My favorite card from Thunder Junction. Oh, that's tough. It's such a sweet set. I've enjoyed a lot of the cards from this set. Opponent's got Delighted Halfling on top. We could use a land, Magic Gods. I really like the idea of another round. I still haven't made a deck that can make it work yet. But that is a card that I really like from this set. I think the Crime Deserts are really cool. Like, it's just a cool idea to have lands that deal damage like that, which is something that we just haven't had before. Kemble, maybe? Kemble's another card that I keep trying to build decks around, and I haven't really figured out how to make them work, but someday, if I ever crack Kemble, it's going to be sweet. Slugshot Show-Off's just busted. That card's so good. Hey, what's up, Raging Goblin? How are you? Good to see ya. It is beautiful outside today, actually. Any plans on playing Legacy soon? I'm sure we'll play some Legacy at some point. Legacy is one of those formats that we don't play really often, but when we do, it's usually really sweet. So we're about due for a Legacy video, I think. A Legacy video. Opponent, Grist. Always with the Grist. Well, I remember this from last game where we brutally lost. Apparently we can't beat a Grist. Well, I mean, I guess Unlicensed Hearse? Start Exile in the Graveyard? I don't know how we get past this Grist, but in the middle of an extended break from MTG, due to too much product being released in too little time, what is your opinion about the amount of product being released? Do you think it's hard to keep up with, or is it just me? Yes, I would agree that it is hard to keep up with, and it is different than in the past. Like, I think the bottom line is this, and I totally am with you as far as the hardness of keeping up with things and the release schedule. I think that how long have you played Magic for? I feel like if you're someone who's played Magic for quite a while, you've kind of been trained to care about every single Magic set, because for the first 26 years of Magic or something, you got, 4 sets a year. You cared about every single one because they were standard sets, they were the modern sets, legacy sets, they had a new commander deck, maybe a supplemental product, maybe around a commander precons. So you could realistically care about every product. And Wizards wanted you to care about every product. They wanted me to care about every product. That was what the brand was we make these products every 2 or 3 months. We put it out, and you're going to care about every one of them. And then somewhere along the way, Wizards changed their tactics, and they went from making a few products for everyone to care about to this new plan where they were going to make way more products, like products every week if you count Secret Layers almost. They're going to make way more products, but you're not supposed to care about all of them. Like, the products, they've said it straight up, this product's not for you. As silly as that slogan is, like, that's really what they think. So Wizards has changed where their goal now is to just flood the market with as many products as possible. And hopefully you buy some of them and other people buy some of them. I don't think we're winning this game against Yogg. does not, I mean, we are in a mold of 4, so that also, no landers all the way down to 4. So Wizards now wants to just print as many products as possible. Maybe you don't buy as many of them. Maybe you buy only one every 6 months, but if other people are buying all of them, in the end they make more money. So I think that's what's going on. I've noticed it too, though. As someone who's played Magic for a long time, it is very noticeable. And I think that the dropping out thing is really... Boy, this was not even close. I mean, again, we are on the mold of 4, but yeah. All right, there's the Yogg, and we'll scoop it up. I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, at what point does... If somebody... Yoda Man, for the 67th month, welcome to the Fish Bowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big super here for you. At what point, if enough products aren't for you, do you just decide the game's not for me? So that's the risk of WotC's strategy. Like, the idea of, like, turning off your longtime fans, the people who, like, it's wild to... The strategy is wild to me. The best I can tell is just driven by the bottom line and wanting to make more money immediately. But it would be like... I don't know. The people who have watched my videos for the last 8 years or whatever, being like... Hey, you know, I really appreciate you that you watch every one of my videos. 3 times a week I post a gameplay video. You watch it. You know, it's really awesome, but you know what? Not all my videos are for you. I think I would like you to start caring less about my videos. Why don't you stop, you know, maybe instead of watching every video, why don't you watch 1 out of every, like, 10 videos and do something else in the meantime? It's such a weird thing to try to, like... train your customers on. Like, doesn't it seem better to have very impassionate fans who care about every one of your products? Doesn't that seem better than trying to teach your customers to not like all your products? Like, hey, like, it's such a crazy, like, it blows my mind but it seems to be the strategy. What if we just eat the CEO? Oh, good old Chris Cox. I mean, Wizards doesn't even have a CEO at the moment, do they? I mean, I watch your streams, but I don't listen to you on YouTube podcasts or Budget Commander stuff. I mean, that's perfectly fine. Like, you should pick and choose what you want, but it seems weird to me. It would be weird to me if I came out and I was like, you know, Glitchy, you know, this podcast's not for you. You know, I know you really like my stuff, but please don't watch it. This one's not for you. Like, to try to encourage you to not do it just is such a funny idea to me. Well, let's get in with this Ragavon. Do a little dirty monkeying. Make a treasure. Are we playing against rhinos? This feels like rhinos. We steal a glimpse of... Wait, did this just pass our turn? Man. All right. Restart. I need to... Okay. This one didn't count. This didn't count. This was a practice league. This is a practice because I blame this Moto account. What is wrong with these keys? Chat, help me here. So F2, pass until you can respond. Maybe I want this to be F2. It just, like, skipped our entire turn. I just want to click OK. Oh, all the hotkeys being messed up are so bad. Yield to the turn. Pass priority OK. Remove auto yields. I definitely don't want F2 to be past my turn. That's an easy way to lose a lot of games. Maybe this'll work? Yeah. Hello. What's up this afternoon, everyone? Welcome. Fine Tuesday to you all. Good to see you. Should have prepared for stream. Yeah, I mean, I didn't realize that that the account would just reset everything like that. So I guess that's on me. Have your thoughts on Tron changed since Evoke Elementals? Seems like you have come to an understanding and hate the Elementals. I mean, I can hate more than one thing. I'm perfectly capable of hating Tron and also the Evoke Elementals. I mean, the Evoke Elementals, some of them are sweet, right? There's upsides to the Evoke Elementals. Like, I think that Endurance is a good card. I like Endurance. They kind of nailed it with Endurance. It's like a good body with like some graveyard hate on it. It's a sweet card. They just, I don't know about the grief aspect and the scam aspect. I think if you couldn't blink and scam them, they would probably be fine. Just do a stop every. Oh my goodness. Playing Moto with a stop, like full control on Arena, is the worst. Oh, I can't do it. Can you play Arena on full control? Have you ever tried? It is brutal. If you have to click OK to literally everything, it is so brutal. Wow. Apparently we're a burn deck. That's a lot of lightning bolts. I want Ozzy to print Urza's Workshop into Modern and watch the world burn. Urza's Workshop would be so broken. I think Ugin's Labyrinth is broken. Oh, did I miss Noma Cardio? Noma Cardio, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big thank you. What are your thoughts on the Moto starter decks? The paper one is really good into Pauper, I think. Or the Pauper one is really good intro to Pauper. But I cannot imagine anyone will play Modern after trying the Infect deck. Yeah, so I love that they're doing it. And I mean, they're free, right? Like, they're literally free. So I think compared to what we've had in the past, they are a huge step in the right direction. Just like, let's just mount in, get out Magda, maybe make a few treasures and some Scorpion Dragons. I think Bolt's actually about the best Textless card you can print. Like, even like a new player will be able to grasp Lightning Bolt pretty quickly. Like Cryptic Command, that's a pretty bad one, right? Or like Omnath, that's just a wall of text. Those are kind of sketchy as textless cards, even though I still love them. But Lightning Bolt, like, deal 3 damage to anything, like, that's, you can get away with being textless with that. I feel like that's a pretty good way to make textless cards. How would I rebalance the Evoke Elementals? Ooh. Wait. Okay, so we get to dash. So we can dash Ragavan, Bolt the Goblin. We could also Chandra tick up Mana Bolt the Goblin. That might be better. All right, let's go Chandra. So play Chandra. Tick it up, ping ya. Get a treasure and a mana, and then Bolt the Goblin and get him with Magda. To ya. Go. Do you need to make a new Moto account to get the new decks? I haven't opened Moto in several years. So I believe that they are Lucid for the 49th month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup to you. Thank you. I believe that they are for new accounts only. So yes, I think you would have to make a new account. I guess don't quote me 100% on that. But I believe it's when you get a new account, these are like the new cards they give you. So the decks, they're not going to be truly competitive, but I guess expecting them to be is probably also not realistic. So overall, I'm pretty impressed with how good the decks were, considering they're literally like free decks. I'm used to like Magic's free decks being really, really bad, and even the precon decks that you pay for are like okay. But as far as a free deck goes, I think they're some of the best that we've seen, really. Can we make... Oh, we can't quite... Well, we could. So we get Volatile Fault to make 2 treasures and make a 4/4? I'm imagining these Volatile Faults are actually an important part of our game plan since we're playing so many of them. So Volatile Fault, but then they get an untap land? That's probably bad. All right, let's do it this way. Let's take up Chandra, make a treasure, pang ya, do a little crime in, Fable of the Mirror Breaker, make a goblin, and then, yeah, we'll just Bolt the Grief. Get in with the Magda, hit you down to 11. This is actually going pretty well. Actually going pretty well at the moment. Yeah, double treasure from Volatile Fault's actually it is kind of cute. I don't know if I like it giving our opponent untapped mana there, because then they just kill the Magda, but... Do we think Chandra Destikill... Do we think of Chandra Destikill as a 2-mana walker? It's kind of like... it's one of those cards that once you get to 3 mana, it's a 2-mana walker. A lot of the time. Assuming you can use the mana on something. It's kind of like Dark Petition. Dark Petition... Is it Demonic Tutor? Once you get to 5 mana, it is Demonic Tutor most of the time. But it's not literally the same because getting to 5 mana is not a guarantee in all scenarios. Pone Ragavan. 2 cards in hand. We will block with the Goblin, I think. And, hey, Duthi Voidwalker. Opponent. If they attack the Chandra, I guess it's fine. Gonna go face. Well, we will block. Get rid of the monkey. I mean, we get to make a hasty 4/4 this turn. And we have a bolt still. We're actually kind of close to winning here. Unholy Heat. I think we just keep all these. So Chandra, Pena, Crimea. Make a treasure. And then Unholy Heat. Reflections of Kiki Jiki. Magda. Scorpion Dragon. The deck is kind of popping off. Go to combat. Hit ya. Down to 4. Which is actually kind of 1. I think we got this. Between the Chandra and the Lightning Bolt, I do not know how we lose from here. I think we're going to pick this win. Do you need to make a new Moto account to get the new decks? Oh yeah. I think so, yeah. So how was everyone's weekend? Anyone do anything fun? Also, what is your hype level for Modern Horizons 3? Did it increase? What do they have in Exile? Oh, and Holy Heat and Lightning Bolt? I mean, none of this matters, right? Sure. Opponent sacks it. I mean, I just don't think this gets our opponent out of... Yeah, opponent scoops it up. Very hyped for MH3. Yeah, I am too. It is the set I'm most excited for this year. 3 funerals. Oh, jeez. I'm sorry, Sethro. That's a lot of funerals in a weekend. Went down... Wait, did you actually go watch the Kentucky Derby? Is it super expensive to go to the Kentucky Derby? I know basically nothing about horse racing. All I know about horse racing is... Every once in a while, people get very mad at it because a bunch of horses die. But I've never actually researched it in any meaningful way to know much about it. I beat Triple Synthesizer and Thousand Moon Smithy. Let me guess, Golden Dragon. You had a farewell? If you did it with a farewell, that would make sense. If you did it without a farewell... That would actually be very impressive. Triple Synthesizer is kind of ridiculous. Hey, Seth, looking to add a commander deck to the collection. What's your favorite from the past 2 years? Needs to be pretty competitive out of the box. Oh, so like a commander precon? So not just a legendary creature, like a commander precon? Got fired? Oh no. I'm sorry, Maltonson. Getting fired is never fun. Okay, $40 to $100. Okay, that's actually not that bad. Okay, so chat, help me out with this. Best precon. Best precon of the past couple years. All right, let me see if I can find a list. So the problem is there's just so many of them. There's just so many of them. There's got to be... Is there not a list? There's got to be a list somewhere. There's so many precons that it's hard for me to even keep track of all of them at this point. I know like Henzi people really like. That was from what, New Capenna? We also should sideboard one of these days. Opponent's playing Scam. Maybe we don't actually have much for Scam. Although the Blood Moons are bad. We can bring in like the Hearses. Hearse is even good. Maybe the Brothers it ends. Let's try that. Something like that. So I know the Henzi one people really liked. Bruno, thank you for the raid and welcome, Raiders. Welcome. Ooh, Prosper. Prosper's a big one. Oh, I guess we can just look at the EDH rack commander rankings. Some of these are going to be precon commanders. So recent precon commanders, Lathril was a precon commander, right? Number 4. Wilhelt's actually fun. And Wilhelt's one that I've seen on sale. If you ever want the Innistrad commander decks, those ones got really overprinted. So I occasionally see those like at Walmart or Target or whatever, usually marked down for like $25-30. So that one's really easy to get. I think Go Shintai is really cool, but it's technically not a precon commander. Prosper is like kind of busted. Henzi, really popular. I guess it also depends on your taste. Hey, thank you, Bina. Definitely appreciate it. Hopefully you had a good stream. Ooh, 1 land. We gotta strike it rich. We'll be good. We'll be fine. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot about Warhammer and Lord of the Rings. The Warhammer Commander precons were some of my favorites of all time. The Warhammer ones were so good. I still have one that's like basically right out of the box. Hey, what's up, Tuga? Shrines are just cool. Shrines are just, they're not that strong, usually. I guess they can if you're not interacted with, and you get a chance just to, like, put a bunch of them on the battlefield. Oh, are we 1 land, 1 keeping? This end, I think, is a good 1-lander. We got a Bobble, so that's a redraw. We got DRC to channel. We got Strike It Rich to ramp. We got Ren's Resolve. I actually think this is a perfectly fine 1-lander. I think it's the kind of 1-lander that I think you should keep with this deck. And plus, remember, there was a video someone posted, I think, on Twitter. They were playing like Is It Phoenix, and they were salty about mulliganing a lot. And they like their 7 was like 1 land, a blue source with sleight of hand, and then some other random stuff. And they mulligan that, and then went like 0-lander, 0-lander, 0-lander scoop. But the thing is, if you're going to play a deck that's only playing 18 or 19 lands, getting a 1-lander is part of the cost, essentially. Like, if your deck's only playing 18 or 19 lands, you are signing up for getting 1-landers like 20% of the time. So either you're okay with getting 1-landers and you should keep them, or you should add more lands to your deck, because that's just kind of the math on it. So I think this is one of those decks that is running a low enough land count that there's going to be acceptable 1-landers. Oh, opponent's got a Dirty Monkey coming as well. Ragavans all around. All right, opponent. Yeah, Phoenix can mulligan pretty well. Phoenix actually doesn't even need that many cards to... Ooh, we get to trade in the Ragavan. Oh, this is great because we drew another one. Our opponent doesn't know that we drew another monkey. So we get to trade off with the first Ragavan. Can we draw a land? We get 2 shots. Land to dash the Ragavan would be really sweet. Come on, deck. Come on, deck. Reward us for our 1-land keep, Magic Gods. Mountain. Hey, all right. That will do. So Scalding Tarn. Correct, Scalding Tarn. Oh, opponent thought they were the Monkey Dasher, but who's the Monkey Dasher now? My issue in paper is getting 1-landers in Simic Burn deck over and over. Yeah, that deck has like 28 lands or something. If you're getting 1-landers with 28 lands in your deck, then you're just kind of low rolling. Legion's End. Interesting. All right. Well, we'll get a treasure. We'll pass the turn. Mankey. We were doing Commander Clash yesterday. Do you know the card Hidden Gibbons? It was like the original monkey. Oh, it was so, is this card good, chat? We were having a debate about this. It's coming up on a Commander Clash. Someone played it on a Commander Clash we recorded yesterday. I'm sure no one knows this card because it's super old. Hidden Gibbons. 1 mana, enchantment. When your opponent successfully casts an instant, or an interrupt, which is just an instant now, if it was an enchantment, it becomes a 4/4 creature that counts as an ape. So essentially, it's a 1 mana 4/4, but it doesn't become a creature until your opponent casts an instant. Is this card good? It does have good monkeys on it. Like, those are gibbons. Those are straight up gibbons. Just chilling in the trees. And it also the flavor text. When these apes want something, it's a matter of give and take. It's a matter of give and take. That is like right to bear arms level of punning. Vote it. Yeah, Simian Spear Guide's my favorite monkey. Yeah, I know those monkeys are pretty tame, aren't they, Cat Cam fan? There's nothing, no loving going on, nothing like that. Actually, you know what I need to do? No one will watch this video because I don't even know how I'd make a good title for it, but really need to do monkeys versus goblins. Who has the better flavor text? Because I swear that monkeys have really good flavor text. Like, there's so many weird, funny gorilla flavor text, but goblins also get really good flavor text. Which has goofier flavor text? I don't know how to, like, turn that into a video that people would watch, but I want to watch that video. I want to know. I need to know. Is it monkeys or goblins with the best flavor text? Hey, what's up, Swing for Zero? How are you? What is it, Gorilla Titan? I think it's Gorilla Titan with that I want a banana thing. This one always gets me too. I want a banana this big. It's so cringe and so cheesy, but it makes me laugh. It gets me every time. It really is. It's like such horrible, like, dad joke humor. All right, we're playing Magic still. We're playing Magic. We gotta play Magic. We're not just talking about flavor text. We gotta be serious. Yes, please do a flavor text video in general. I'm not entirely sure how you would structure a video. Maybe your own subjective top 10, but I watch the hell out of it. Yeah, I just think it's funny. I think there's some really funny, like, cringy, funny flavor text in Magic that makes me laugh. Did you watch the bunch of Magic this week? The Rise of the Varmints? The intro to that cracked me up so much. Oh god, that intro was so as soon as I saw the video, it made me laugh so much. I was like, I knew I had to do it. No one's gonna get it. No one else is gonna care. But I just found it so funny. Alright, so we'll make a treasure. We'll keep the land. We'll sack our treasures. Well, Ren's resolve to get a land. Keep it on top. We're casting a lot of spells not to do much, but we did turn the DRC into a 3/3, so we did that at least. Scalding Tarn, Crack It, Mountain, and I don't even think we play the Ragavan. Yeah, let's just pass. We might be able to dash it next turn. Varmints is just a funny word. Check cannon fodder, Seth. It also made me... Alright, let me look up... Cannon fodder. Or is it fodder cannon? I see a fodder cannon. Oh, alright. 4 mana. Pay 4. Tap a sack a creature. 4 damage to a creature. Flavor text. Step 1. Find your cousin. Step 2. get your cousin in the cannon. Step 3, find another cousin. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh, that's a good one. Goblins have some really good ones. Even just like, what is Raging Goblin? Raging Goblin is kind of classic. Like, he raged at the world. But most of all, I don't know if Raging Goblin's like that funny, but let's see. Raging Goblin. He raged at the world, at his family, at his life, but mostly he just raged. Bone it. Do the Voidwalker. We are playing some Magda Moon in Modern. Trying to use new Magda. Ooh. Oh. Well, at least we didn't get scammed. We kind of wanted that Brothers at end, though. We did kind of want that Brothers at end. Now our opponent can, like, Voidwalker or Ragavan if they want to. That was actually kind of brutal. Opponent. Yeah, it takes a Brothers at end. That makes sense. I mean, they got to decide. They know we have this Ragavan that we can dash. So if they just attack, we can dash the Ragavan. All right, opponent's not going to attack. Opponent's going to pass. We draw a mountain. Well, play the mountain. Let's crack the Scalding Tarn. Crack the Scalding Tarn. Thin the deck. This Fable flipping is kind of awkward. Actually, do we just dash Ragavan anyway? Maybe we do. Yeah, let's dash it. Let's get in there. Go to combat. Hit ya. I mean, so if our opponent blocks, then at least they can't copy the token with the Fable once they flip it. All right, opponent's going to trade. Take their beats. Well, we'll play Unlicensed Hearse. Surveil. Yeah, Mishra Bobble doesn't do much here. To the graveyard. And pass the turn. Brotherhood end. Brotherhood end. Brotherhoods, not brothers hood. Brothers hood. Pote it. Yeah, reparations is one of the maybe the best flavor text. Reparations. Old Magic cards are so funny. Like, I don't even know like who's writing the flavor text. Now I imagine it's someone's job. There's got to be someone whose job it is to just do flavor text now. I'm sure there's probably multiple people whose job it is to do flavor text. But back then, I don't even know. I don't even know how they came up with this. It's just like, I don't, if they have someone that just looked at the art and then interpreted it like a little kid or something. But yeah, sorry I burned down your village. Here's some gold. It's like, yeah, I mean, a very on the nose there, reparations. I've been bringing a High Noon Hullbreaker Horror lock deck. For standard, I think you would enjoy. I'd love to see how you would brew that lock. Ooh, do you have a deck list by chance? That does sound sweet. I played against someone playing a High Noon deck that looked really cool, and it made me think that I should try to build one at some point. I haven't got around to it yet, but oh, LRR is doing current flavor text? That's cool. I could see LRR being good at it. Volatile Fault A. Well, 1, 2, 3. Strike it rich. We really needed that sweeper. Needed that Brotherhood's end. Brotherhood's end. But we needed the sweeper regardless. and our opponent took it away. Well, I mean, get in and hit you. Are we just straight up dead? I don't think we're straight up dead, but we're not in a good spot. We've also really flooded out. Like, we have so many lands right now. Well, play the fault. Pass the turn. Ranger Man, welcome to the Fishbowl. Yeah, what's your favorite flavor text, chat? Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super thank you. Opponent going to Thoughtseize our mountain. High Noon plus the guy who says, wait, your opponents can't cast spells during their turn is fun. Yeah, it seems sweet. The person I played against was like, all right, another Voidwalker. Voidwalker Reflection's kind of cute. You can cast one of the spells and then do it for free, essentially. Opponent. Even if we draw... Even if we draw Magda, we're like a damage short of winning. Opponent hits us. Actually, wait, if we draw Magda, can we win? Maybe. I think we need to top deck Magda to have a shot. Opponent. Voidwalker. What are they casting with Voidwalker? Oh, they're going to blow up all the artifacts. Well, okay. Yeah. That's going to make winning tougher. Yeah, now I don't think Magda does it. All right, there goes our stuff. Can we draw a sweeper? Ah, that grief got us. Always getting scammed. Always getting... Ay. All right. Well, sometimes you just draw all the lands. All the lands in the world. A list for High Noon control. Hullbreak Horror. I mean, Hullbreak Horror is kind of cute with High Noon, right? So if you have a High Noon, each player can't cast more than one spell each turn. Hullbreak Horror, if you have enough instants, you can just bounce what your opponent plays and kind of essentially lock them out of doing anything. That does look pretty cool. I do like locking people out of playing Magic. I was thinking of High Noon as more of a heat card, but maybe it's a combo piece. Maybe it's actually a combo piece. This is kind of a control deck. I've been messing around with a cornucopia deck, and it is the most miserable experience, I swear. The cornucopia deck, the ancient cornucopia, the one that gains life whenever you cast a spell once a turn, it can't really win games, but you just gain so much life that your opponent can't kill you. So if you ever just want to spend like an hour on Arena for no reason, the cornucopia's got you covered. I actually had a best of 3 game end as a 1-0-0. I won game 1. And then timed out the rest of the time. I think I had one that we timed out before we even completed game 1. That the opponent just timed out before I did in game 1. We played an hour-long one game. It is so horrible, but so awesome. What do you think of doing some sort of against the odds, where you start a new account in Arena and try to mythic by not spending money on the account and only using cards you start with and only unlocking new cards with the coins you get from daily, weekly challenges and such? Ooh. That's an interesting idea. It's definitely an interesting idea. Please don't scam us. If we get scammed, I'm going to really regret playing the Strike It Rich and not leaving a Lightning Bolt. Opponent, Bloodstained Mire. Oh, we're going to get punished. Blood Crypt. Untapped. Oh, red mana. Ragavan. Okay. Unpunished. We're good. We did not get punished. Whew. Okay. Well, that's fine. We can deal with the monkey. That's fine. I think that's a really cool idea. I've thought about that before. The problem I've run into is... what would it be? Wow. You're just going to yield 2 for 1 yourself? Okay, sure. Fires off the grief. I guess they probably take the bolt. Outrageous Tyrannus, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. The main problem I've run into with the idea is like how to make it into a watchable video, essentially. Because the process of like starting a new account and going to Mythic, that's a long process. Interesting. So we could just Brothers it End to kill the Ragavan. That feels kind of bad. We could Fable, but then if they kill the token, they get to hit us with Ragavan. Well, this feels so bad, but I think this is the safest play. But then they're gonna drop a Voidwalker. I actually don't know what to do here. I mean, I think if you're playing like a tiered deck, you can probably speedrun to Mythic pretty quickly. But if you're only playing with the cards you get in a new player account on Arena, I think it's going to be a lot longer of a process to get to Mythic. Huh. Oh boy, how bad is getting hit by Ragavan? All right, we'll just Fable. Fable go. Yeah, just getting hit by Ragavan's so bad. That's kind of the problem. Like, if this was not Ragavan, waiting on Brothers it End's very easy, but Ragavan just, one or two hits a lot of times is enough value to win the game. So now I get to... Okay. Explosives on 0. All right, so we're going to blow up the Goblin, get him with the Ragavan, get the trigger, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, well, I mean, they had to spend a lot of mana on it. Hopefully they don't steal anything too relevant here. About it. Well, steals a land that we didn't really want anyway. That's kind of fine. Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Do we even want Agatha's Soul Cauldron? Not really. Discard Soul Cauldron. I guess we'll hold on to the mountain. Another Strike It Rich. Oh, this deck. Well, now we just have to do it. We can't just keep getting hit by Ragavan. Well, blow up the Ragavan. Pass the turn. Some friends and I thought of a way to fix issue with mana and magic, and we came to the idea of separating mana from the main deck, and you choose the deck you want to draw from, but then we have the issue with cards like Risen Reef and such. Yeah, I mean, I think, so the big issue, Ace, that I would see with that plan is so many of those plans work really well for like a casual commander play group or something. Like if you just want to play with your friends, there's a lot of ways that you can make the mulligan rule really, really good. On the other hand, the problem I run into with that rule competitive is if you play that like even on Arena for competitive play, I think what happens is you build a like mono red aggro deck where all of your cards cost 1 mana, and then your first turn you draw from your land deck, and then the rest of the game you just like know you will never draw another land, and you just play stone action. Maybe you draw twice from the land deck, so you can double spell on turn 2, and then you just dump your hand, and you know every turn I'm drawing a Bull, I'm drawing a Ragavan. So many of those fixes are really good if you're not trying to abuse them, but then if you're trying to abuse them, it ends up being incredibly broken. Your teaching Arena Zuma series has actually impressed me enough to build my own deck around Teferi and do Teferi things on Arena myself. Usually get Salty Ropes, though. I mean, Salty Ropes, that's usually a good sign of a good deck, right? If your opponent's Salty Roping, you know you're doing something right. Another Brothers it End. All right, let's just render Resolve. See if we can hit a Bolt. Or Unholy Heat. Or a Strike It Rich and a Ragavan. Well, let's play the Ragavan. Pass the turn. I saw your financial short on Eon Hub. I don't think it's predictions from HC. I think it's because the new Abeka is the new hotness, and an Eon Hub just shuts down the entire deck. That blows my mind. I saw other people say that as well. It blows my mind. Like, the idea that people would... Oh, this Bowmaster? That's pretty bad. The idea that people are playing Eon Hub in the off chance... What did our opponent do? They just made a bunch of mana. Oh my god, they clicked the wrong mode on Shieldred's Edict. Oh, they clicked creature token. But now they're gonna Brother's Hood End in Wrath off their Voidwalker. Bailed out for their misclick. Alright. Well, and then all we got's a bunch of Strike It Riches. Wait, so do you actually play decks like that in Commander? Like, yes, I could see how Eon Hub shuts down Obeka. But do you actually play a card like Eon Hub in your Commander deck just on the off chance someone's playing Obeka? Well, that's not the worst draw. Ragavan? Dash it. Better not have a Bowmaster's opponent. Anything but Bowmasters. Oh, we getting in the hit? We getting in the hit? Yeah, steal us something good, Ragavan. Shieldred's Edict. Well, all right, we'll just Strike It Rich. And pick up the Ragavan and pass the turn. We need a Magda. We need a Magda. I mean, it was definitely a buyout. There's no doubt. You can see it on the price chart of like nothing, shoots up to $20, goes back down. So it was definitely a buyout. The thing I couldn't figure out is why someone would buy out Eon Hub, of all things. I was thinking maybe it was like, maybe it was something to do with the Modern Horizons 3 leaks, and there's a card that we haven't seen yet that other people have seen, like a non-public leak that synergizes with it. I guess it could also just be a wild idea to shut down Obeka in Commander. I mean, I guess I could see if I knew on the next Commander Clash that that let's say Krim was gonna play Obeka, I could see my throwing a Eon Hub in my deck just because it would be so funny. But if I was going to go to a Magic Con, there is a 0% chance that I would run Eon Hub in my deck just thinking, oh, I might run into someone on Obeka. I know Obeka's, oh my god. I know Obeka's pretty popular, so, you know, I'm just gonna go for it. Well, that's the Magda. That's what we're looking for. Magda. Sack 3 treasures. Hasty Dragon, Dash the Ragavan, Hasty Monkey. Try to scam us, will ya? Try to scam us, will ya? Opponent scoops it up. Cannot overcome. It's the power of Strike It Rich. Oh, okay, we got there. 1-0. 1-0. 1-0. Has anyone figured out a way to make Obeka work outside of Commander? I like spent an hour or two like scouring Standard, trying to figure out, is there any way to build an Obeka deck? And I came away from it thinking there's just not really a way to. I mean, I guess I can build an Against the Odds deck that was pretty janky and didn't really do much, but it seems like a really hard card to build around outside of that was what I actually thought when I was messing with Obeka. Shrine seems like the best way. You could build like historic shrines with it or something, or pioneer shrines. But even that seems so janky. I mean, I guess that's true. There are a lot of upkeep triggers. I guess Eon Hub, you're shutting down Phyrexian Arena. Not my Phyrexian arenas. Leave my arenas alone. I mean, I think Eon Hub, my philosophy on Magic Finance, I guess, is if a card has a really unique effect and hasn't been reprinted a ton, that's the kind of card I like owning. And Eon Hub is exactly the kind of card, when it's like $1, that I think I would just buy a bunch of copies of, because it's the kind of card that isn't replaceable. Like, sooner or later, as absurd as it sounds, Wizards will print some commander that rewards you for skipping your upkeep, and then everyone's going to buy Eon Hub, and it's going to be super expensive. Those are the kind of cards that I actually like just owning copies of, because I think they could end up expensive someday. Worst case, if they never end up expensive, what do I care? It was only $1 anyway. You're not really losing anything if you get a few copies of, some unique bulk rare. So those are the cards that I am most intrigued by. It's already started to go back down in the US. It was mostly bought out on TCG Player, which caused the prices to spike really high, but then it's already going back down because no one's actually buying them. Would Obeka be really dope in a deck that could pretty much a sack at end of sack at end like the horse from OTJ just to keep the tokens? Oh. Yeah, I think that's the other Obeka, right? The original. Yeah, I was talking about the new one. So there's two Obekas now. I was thinking of the new one that gives you extra upkeeps. The original Obeka Brute Chronologist, that lets you end the turn. Yes, that's exactly the way to do it. Like, Calamity is a perfect card to combo with Obeka, because you can end the turn and keep all the tokens. So yeah, if you're playing original Obeka, that's the perfect way to go about it. Original Obeka is actually pretty becoming one of my favorite characters. Right now we're like 2 for 2 with having really interesting Obeka cards. Like, every Obeka card so far has been a really interesting, unique card. Oh god, Amulet. All right, are we fast enough? Are we fast enough to get the Blood Moon down before we die to prime time? Well, land and crack it. So I think we have to just strike it rich and hope we just draw lands so we can Blood Moon next turn and live. We just want to live. We just want to live. Hey, Seth, I have 4 things. 1, I was playing a flyer deck, no Sweepers or Farewell. Actually, that is doubly impressive, Golden Dragon. That's super impressive. A flyer deck, no Sweepers or Farewell to be a synthesizer. 2, when is the Commander Torment happening? Tournament? Commander Tournament. Wait, what Commander Tournament? I might need to ask you about that one. 3, you should do a 16 tribe tournament to see who have the best flavor text. That's a good idea. I do like that. But what other tribes have good flavor text? You'll have to help me fill out a list. 4, a free-to-play account. Getting to Mythic would be fun, but as a free-to-play player, it takes me 3 years to get to Mythic. But I did craft cards that I shouldn't have crafted, so yeah, that would be my worry, is just like, that series might take a really long time. I think I could get to Mythic with... Oh, no. Oh, we're in a bad spot now. That Ren's Resolve whiffing on lands. 1 land, 1 keep. 1 land, 1 keep. Did Seth get a new camera? This is the same one I've been using for a while, although... Why? Does it look good or bad? Usually, if the camera looks better or worse than usual, it is almost always something to do with the lighting. Like 100% of the time, it is something to do with the lighting. Well, that's Scalding Tarn. Crack Scalding Tarn. Double Amulet is very scary. Hello, King Borden. How are you? Good to see you. Well, we're going to grab a mountain. And we're going to just... dash a Ragavan, I guess? Dash Ragavan, hit you, make a treasure. Steal Primeval Titan, please. Simic Growth Chamber. All right, well, we can Blood Moon next turn. Is it going to be fast enough after missing that land drop? Hold. Oh, dead. All right, they got the bounce land. I think we're probably dead, but we'll see what they can do. Seth, you're like me. Seth, are you like me and you only like characters based on their cards? Mengar's one of my favorite characters, but I know nothing about his lore. Oh yeah, I'm the same way, Carlton. I'm not much of a Magic lore person. I don't really like read the books or the lore for the most part. I pick up on a little bit just because I'm doing Magic stuff all the time, so I learn bits and pieces of it here and there. But yes, for me, the characters I like are mostly because I like their cards and how their cards play, not because of their lore. Oh, well, thank you, Chairman. Yeah, I got a new camera, like, I don't know, like couple of years ago now, maybe a year ago. It's been a minute, so maybe you just haven't seen it since that upgrade. Or it might be a good lighting day. I have some amazing Against Odds video ideas. 1, Family Therapy Part 2, Giralf and Gisa Edition. 2, the most legal deck in Standard. No outlaws. I really like the title of that one. The most legal is just... that is a very interesting way to word that. Most legal is just a funny phrase. I might have to do it just for that. Yeah, I do want to play a Gisa and Giralf standard deck. I do like zombies. The new Gisa is actually pretty good. The new Giralf, I haven't really seen new Giralf do anything yet. Lately, I've been addicted to plotting. There's a couple of sweet plot decks I'm working on that are going to be coming up in the near future. Tomic is my favorite, along with Kaya and Rat, because of the War of the Spark. So War of the Spark because they're cards? Wait, Rat didn't even get a card, right? So because of the cards or because of the lore? Better pull up a lawyer on the thumbnail. Opponent. Only 2 Primeval Titans attacking hastily. It really hurts that we have... yeah, I mean, we're just dead. It really hurts to die with Blood Moon in hand because we missed a land drop. That's what makes that one hurt. The fact that we actually had our best answer and we whiffed on lands and couldn't get it down in time. So we'll go down a couple of bolts. Go down there, or Abel in a Soul Cauldron. Run it like that. Nalakilla for the 59th month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Thank you. Hey, Seth, what do you think about having Vintage in Arena? I'm enjoying playing Burn against other players finally, but it reminds me of how much I hate control players in Modern. Wait, so Autistic Crumbs, do you mean like, are you talking about Timeless? I love Timeless. I think Timeless has really rejuvenated Arena for me. I think, oh boy. Well, we don't have a Blood Moon anyway. The one colorless land's awkward, but we gotta ship it. No Blood Moon. Do we just keep mulliganing until we find a Blood Moon? I mean, we get to turn one Ragavan. We have a volatile fault. They can blow up a bounce land. Oh, I don't know if we can keep this or not. Could this strat have legs in Timeless? Maybe. We have pretty much all the treasure producers, right? I mean, I don't even know if this strat has legs in Modern, so I don't know about having legs, but I think that could work in Timeless. All right. Well, in the monkey we trust. All right, go Ragavan. Scalding Tarn, crack it. Mountain and Ragavan and pass the turn. Best game I've had on Timeless was playing Swift Spear, then 3 bump in the nights in a row, then sniping with a bolt on my next turn. Sounds pretty sweet. Timeless, show and tell. Show and tell, that card. Show and tell has made me enjoy Timeless less. I keep hoping they'll ban it, but it looks like Modern Horizons 3 is going to be so wild that maybe it doesn't even matter. Like, maybe MH3 is just so ridiculous that we're just going to be scamming each other. We're just going to be scamming, and who cares about show and tell? If you don't have any cards in hand, show and tell doesn't matter much. So that might be the direction we're going. Well, play the DRC. Play Volatile Fault. Strike it rich. Well, there's Magus. There is a Magus. All right. That's what we were looking for. We got the mana for it. Pass the turn. Well, we shouldn't die this turn, right? We shouldn't die this turn. We better not die this turn. We have the Blood Moon on top. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what it comes down to. I think... Oh, a Brawl tournament. I do remember talking... definitely remember talking about doing like a goldfish community tournament. I don't remember. Did I say? I might have said brawl. I might. That actually kind of sounds familiar now. But I definitely do remember talking about a goldfish community tournament. I guess we gotta let it go. This is where you see the downside of Volatile Fault, where if we sack it... Oh, you got Dryad. That is Dryad mana. Fire Spout. All right. Well, that's kind of okay, because we got a Blood Moon. In Blood Moon, we trust. Well, there's the Magus. 1, 2, and 3. Play the Magus. Pass the turn. And 9 turns of beatdowns when we got there. Yeah, I do still want to do the community tournament. I think that'd be super fun. Hey, Seth, I was wondering if you've ever been invited to any of the YouTube Commander shows, or are you too far? I have definitely been invited to some of them. Some of them are just like, I'm not much of a traveler, and I'm on like the East Coast, and I know like game nights, Ready Run, a lot of those are like West Coast, so it's just like a big travel commitment. So it hasn't really come together because of that. But I think there will certainly be some in the future, especially like with spell table games, or like I did it wasn't Commander in specific, but it was really fun to do like the card market crossover, and that was one that worked out that I didn't have to travel to Germany, but I could still do. I just like making content and hanging out with everyone, and traveling is just such a big amount of time that goes into it that it's hard to find the time to... Oh, this is going to be interesting. Hard to find the time to do sometimes. Crumbling Vestige. I know sometime I need to make it to Prof. Like, Prof is... I've been talking to... I'm pretty... like, I talk to Prof a lot, Tulare Community College. So we talk a lot. He's been trying to get me to go out there and do a Shuffle Up and Play since Shuffle Up and Play was a thing. And I just have not made it all the way out to the West Coast to do it yet. But that's one that I really want to do. I think that's one... it would be fun to hang out with Prof for a weekend or something. So I think that's the most likely one that could happen in the near future, because I know he really would like me to do it, and it's just a matter of me actually making the trip to do it. Yeah, and if I go out there, yeah, it would be fun to swing by and like check out Card Kingdom and stuff like that. Do it after Vegas when you're already on the coast. That's what I thought. That was my impulse, was like, okay, if I already got to go out west for something, make the trip to Profs. The only downside to that plan is it ends up being a lot of time away from making content, because we usually are here in Vegas for like a week or 10 days because we do some goldfish stuff out there. So it ends up being a long time in Vegas, and then if you have a trip on top of it, the YouTube might be a little bit quiet for an extended period. But yeah, that would be the easiest way to do it. Thankfully, Bear and Cece got a pretty good setup. Bear gets to go stay with his brother when I go on a trip, and he likes hanging out with his brother, so that works out. Cece, honestly, I think is happier when I'm gone. Bear, when I come back from a trip, Bear, you can tell, really cared, and he's like all excited, and like he's all clingy and needy for like the next few days. Cece is just like, yeah, whatever. Like, where's my food? Where's my food? Give me my food, Seth. I'm like, I haven't even been here for a week, Cece. Come on. Nope, just meow. Where's my food? Bear, I swear Bear doesn't even like when I leave the house. Like, cause he's just, since I work at home, we're always around each other. So Bear, like, he's just always been around me. So if I leave him at home and go do something for the day, I swear that he just like sits in front of the door that I go out, and I'll come back 4 hours later and he will still be right in front of that same door. I swear he just sits there and waits for me. He just sits and waits. I'm like, yeah, he'll be back someday. Cece, on the other hand. Yeah, Cece. Cece's her own. Cece's her own woman. Cece does not care. Cece got a nice couch to live in. She's got the food that she likes. Cece doesn't even really like to be petted that much. Like, I'll try to pet Cece and she'll like jump back. Like she doesn't even want to be petted. So yeah, it's funny to see the difference between cats and dogs. Just such different personalities. I might have to get a camera just so I can see what Bear does. Plus, I was just did you ever see the Afro Man thing where like the cops raided his house and then he made a whole album of songs? He made a whole album of songs out of it, like the lemon pound cake and Will You Repair My Door? You never know. You never know what you get out of having a camera in your house. Maybe you get some good content out of it. You never know. Lemon pound cake was a classic. That one cracked me up. It was really good. Will you help me repair my door? Will you help me repair my gate? It was, and then the cops sued him. The cops were so petty about it that they ended up suing him. Wait, so everything's mountains again now, right? So we played Magda Moon, then they played Dryad. So their timestamp would make everything again. But then we played a Magda Moon, so they're back to all mountains. I think we're doing it. Do we attack here? If we attack, they block Magus. No, they block Ragavan. We get a treasure. There is upside to getting a treasure. I have not actually heard the end of the... I'm not sure if the case has actually ended. So I'm actually not sure how it ended. But it happened like 6 months after he made the video. They sued him for like emotional distress or something because he used their images without permission. I was like, the image is you just like apparently doing your job and looking at his lemon pound cake. It wasn't like he had some sketchy, photo of you he wasn't supposed to have. It was just like the security footage of his house. Dr. Sander, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Oh God, one ring. Big super chat for you. Thank you. Oh, so chat, you got to explain this to me. So I'm not a huge rap fan, but I like some rap. I've been trying to understand this whole Drake Kendrick Lamar thing. My question for you is it all just a scam? Because that is my first impression of that whole thing. Is it seems like it's just a scam, and they both benefit from it because it is a ton of publicity, and everyone gets all. It's like WWE or something, right? Like it's like WWF, or am I misunderstanding and this is a real thing? Because to me this seems like, you know what? If I wanted to like get people talking about me and my music, probably like making a bunch of diss records about some other person and having them do that back to me. That seems brilliant, right? Like they're probably just talking to each other like, hey dude, you're going to release that, song today. I got mine coming up tomorrow. Like, hey, they say all publicity is good publicity. Oh, so Drake actually really is. So you actually think it's real? Okay. Because I didn't actually read into it. I listened to the songs, but my impression was this is just like two celebrity artists that are doing this to promote their celebrity. So I didn't really listen to it closely to be like, should I take this seriously? Because my initial response was, I should not take this seriously. But you're saying it might actually be more seriously than that? So Drake is actually a bad dude. I mean, I don't really... Is Drake liked? I kind of thought that Drake... Oh my goodness. Oh! Wow, those fire spouts. I guess we should have attacked more. Yeah, well, that's gonna be that game. So Drake is sketchy, but it also could be about publicity. Huh. All right. So if it might be kind of real, I'll have to pay more attention to it. Cuz I just assumed, oh, this is just like I don't really read like celebrity gossip stuff or what. I just don't care. Like I don't care what celebrities are doing in general. Like it doesn't impress me, it doesn't matter to me. So I don't really keep up on stuff like that. Drake is a pop star. A large portion of fan base doesn't like hip hop if it's not Drake. What about Kendrick? What is the perception of Kendrick Lamar then? Drake is the nickel. Yeah, that would be what my impression of Drake would be from people. Oh, MTG gossip. I'm all over that. I'm scrounging the web for MTG gossip. So, what is the perception of Kendrick in the like rap community? So, okay, so Kendrick's considered to be one of the best. Drake is considered to be kind of like a poser, basically. See, I just don't keep up on the rap scene enough. Kendrick's one of my favorites. Okay, so in the feud, Kendrick's like winning, right? I don't know. From the songs I listened to, it kind of felt to me like, and I don't have a horse in this race because I don't care about either of their music or know either of their music other than a few random songs I've heard on the radio. It seems like Kendrick was just stomping him when I listened through the songs. I was like, wow, it seems like these songs are just like, he's just running up the score on this poor dude. This dude is just getting absolutely smashed. If you have to sing, if I was a blank, I would be in jail. You were like, yeah. Oh, maybe I haven't. Maybe there's more to this. Maybe there's even more songs I haven't listened to. It was a couple days ago that I was listening through all of them. So maybe I didn't actually get to the to the end of the story. So you want us to know that you don't like rap, although you have some dirty rap. No, no, no. I like rap. I just mostly listen in all genres to indie music. So I don't listen to pop music. So I've like never listened to Drake. I've never really listened to Kendrick Lamar. So I don't like radio music. I actually like all genres of music. I used to think I didn't like rap. And then I realized I actually really like rap. I just had only heard like poppy radio rap that is like not even, I don't know, not very good music. Same with country. I used to think I didn't like country music. Country's actually really, there's some amazingly good country songs that I love. The problem is not that country music sucks. It's that the problem is that it's the stuff that is normally on the radio is just not the best stuff. So yeah, that's kind of where I come down on that. Like, I like literally all genres of music. It's just usually not the stuff that's played on the radio. That stuff doesn't usually appeal to me. Well, this Blood Moon could be good if we can get to it in time. Well, let's pass the turn. Let's crack this bauble. Can we get it down in time? Opponent's about to draw land. So this is going to be a timestamp thing too, right? Or no? Their lands are going to be all types. Man, not Ragavan. All right, we need a removal spell for the Ragavan. We got the Blood Moon. It's just looking a smidge slow here. If they have Sign of Draco, then we're really in trouble. Well, there's a Bolt at least. All right, so Blood Crypt tapped. Bolt the Ragavan. All right, no Scion. No Sign of Draco. Please, please, please. Come on, no Scion, and then this Blood Moon should do some serious work, I think, about it. Sign of Draco. All right. Well, that is a problem. That is a issue. Well, okay. Blood Moon. How do we deal with the Scion, though? Hexproof, Lifelink, Trample, Vigilance. I guess we could Magda into a bunch of 4/4s. Yeah, Scion Leyline is an annoying play pattern. I think it's actually a very unhealthy play pattern just because there's a lot of decks that really don't care. And then there's a lot of decks that just can't beat it. So it's either like you play the matchup that can't interact with it and you just get a free win, or you play against like some control deck that just has sweepers and the interaction for it, and it's like whatever, like free loss essentially. But I think we're one of the decks that is more in the we can't beat it camp. We just don't have a way to answer it. Hell, Scalding Tarn. Agatha's Soul Cauldron, I guess. I'm not even sure. I guess Agatha's Soul Cauldron is just supposed to be a main deck graveyard hate piece. It doesn't seem to do anything specific with our deck. What are the chances you have a Last FM account? I think I did a long time ago. I remember Last FM. Is that still a thing? Now I mostly use Spotify for my music stuff. I might, maybe I still have a Last FM account. Well, 1, 2, 3, Fable. Is there a card in our deck that can get out from under this? Is there a card in our deck? I don't know if there's a card in our main deck or sideboard. I guess Spiteful Banditry, in theory. Yeah, we just... I guess we might as well scoop. We literally do not have the ability to beat this Scion with Leyline. Like, the cards just do not exist. See, I'm telling you, this is why I always say... this is why I always say that they need to add Enchantment Destruction into more colors. See, the problem is, Enchantment Destruction is the colors aren't balanced, right? Some colors can't kill enchantments, and it's very unfair that, not every color can kill an enchantment. So I think we need Feed the Swarm, but in red. Wizards, get on that, please. Please, we need more Feed the Swarm. We need more color pipe breaks. If it supports Blood Moon, it's okay. I'm definitely not a hypocrite. I just really like Blood Moon. This deck should totally splash green for Pick Your Poison to the side. That's probably true. I'm actually very confused. So it's splashing for a Blood Crypt, presumably to grow engineered explosives. Seems like it would be worth playing a Stomping Grounds, and then you could play something like Pick Your Poison as an answer in the side. It's so easy to splash in Modern that there's, even in a Blood Moon deck, there's really no reason not to a lot of the time. Our sideboard does not really do anything in this matchup. I mean, Spiteful Banditry, it could do it. If we make enough treasures, Spiteful Banditry could kill a Scion. Soul Cauldron doesn't do anything. We could also just get the Blood Moon down fast enough, I guess. We could get the Blood Moon down fast enough that we win the race. Oh, we probably need the Maguses too, really. Let's go 6 Blood Moons. We need the Strike at Riches. What do we cut? Is Spiteful Banditry even a real answer? Like, we would need 6 mana? That's not realistic, is it? All right. Yeah, that's not actually going to happen. We can't make that much mana. I know, I was hoping it would run into a deck that we could boil. Well, I mean, this hand is good. If the monkey gets in for a hit, it's turn 2 Blood Moon. How about our opponent just not having Leyline for once? The 16 creature types for the flavor text war. Bear, Goblin, Monkey, Frog, Human, Wolf, Ogre, Demon, Dog, Giant, Knight, Merfolk, Dragon, Cyclops, Dwarf, and Elf. That actually seems like a pretty good list. I like it. I think that could work. I think, yeah, I got to do more with flavor text because I find it funny. I'm sure there's a way we could get a good video out of it. Just got off of work. What are we up to today? Hey, what's up, Doggamyth? How are you? Good to see you. We are mostly... Ooh, oh my goodness. Okay. Well, let's see if they have a force of some kind, because if not, this game might be over. We are trying to play some new Magda and make some Dragon Scorpions in Modern today. Most importantly, we're about to drop a Turn to Blood Moon on Domain. Well, let's get in with the monkey. Dogamith handing out 5 gift subs. Bearing, Vulture, Douglas, Glitterford, and Kid Koozie. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscriptions. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Ragavan into Ragavan. Well, thin the deck. Scalditard, crack it. Hey, thank you so much, dog. How was your day at work? What do you do, dog? I don't think I've ever asked you what you do for work at the moment. Well, I guess the free win thing goes both ways. Apparently, our opponent has some draws that we just literally can't beat, and we have some draws that they literally can't beat. So I guess maybe that's fair. I mean, they kind of insta-winned us in game 1. We got them back in game 2. Oh, I wish we had an answer to Leyline, though. I wish we did. Ooh, inventory week. My sister worked in retail for a while, and I remember inventory week being inventory being like the super busy time, right? That's like the busiest time of the season. Yeah, our sideboard is not built for this. It really isn't. All right, run it back. Wow. Well, good luck, dog. It sounds like a busy week for you. Or busy couple days. Do you have to oh, I remember what it was. You have to stay for 24 hours or something. I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to remember. I think at my sister's place when she worked there, it was the inventory you have to do after the store hours or whatever. So you'd have to stay overnight one night, and then it would run into the next shift sometime. So you ended up being on your job for 24 hours straight. It was something like that, which sounds like I mean, I guess it's the equivalent of doing a 24-hour stream or something, but the retail edition doesn't sound super fun. Oh, we got Blood Moons. We got Magdas. Oh, that's sweet, dog. That sounds a little bit better. All right, we'll put a Magda to the bottom. We need lands, and we need... Okay, no Leyline. No Leyline's good. No Leyline is good. That is good. Have you watched the new X-Men 97? I've not even watched the old X-Men. I haven't. Honestly, I'm not sure I've ever watched an X-Men movie. When I joke about, what's an X-Men, I'm not actually really joking. Oh, what? What? Force pitching Preordain to save the Ragavan? All right, well, found it. Just don't steal our lands, monkey. We need our lands, you jerk. Is the new X-Men good? X-Men 97? Oh, chat, I was trying to figure this out. I was asking the Goldfish crew about this. I've been hearing about 3 TV shows a lot lately. Well, okay, that's not a land. That is a threat. I've been hearing a lot about 3 TV shows lately. One is Fallout. One is Three Body Problem. One is and one is Dune. Out of those shows, which one is actually most important to watch? I haven't watched any of them. Yet. Oh, I have not watched Shogun. I watched an episode of Shogun. The problem with Shogun, that's the Japanese one, right? The problem I ran into with Shogun is the only time I really watch TV is when I'm going to bed at night. I just kind of put it on and half watches and I'm falling asleep. The thing I ran into with Shogun is subtitles are really tough. You got to pay attention to subtitles. I like subtitle shows, but they're harder for me to watch just because I don't usually make the time to watch shows while I'm focused on them. I just put them on when I'm going to bed. New Doctor Who starts. But yeah, Shogun seemed really interesting. It's a show that I want to watch. I just got to take the time to actually watch it at a time when I can focus on it. But yeah, I do want to watch it. Three Bodies really interesting. Is Fallout worth watching? Because when I hear Fallout TV show, I think not good. But then what was the one like a year ago? Oh no, that was really good with the dude and the girl and Pedro Pascal or whatever. That's another one that I was like, oh, it's based on a video game. This isn't probably going to be that good. But then I really liked it. It was The Last of Us. The Last of Us was really good, and that's another like video game. That's another video game TV show. So that gives me hope for Fallout, because that one I actually really liked. The Last of Us was actually really solid. Well, I guess it's time for a Moon In. This is actually it was surprisingly good. I didn't think it would be good, but it was. 100% my girlfriend has never played a video game in her life. She hates sci-fi, but she loved the show. Fallout or Last of Us? Fallout's very good. I played Fallout New Vegas. I actually played a lot of Fallout New Vegas. That's the only one I've played, but that one just lined up with the time in my life. I played so much of that game. I really like New Vegas. I could see playing it again. Maybe I might have to get it on Steam or something. Would you watch a Fallout stream just for fun? As just a one-off. I haven't played Fallout in like 10 years, but yeah, even just watching the trailer, I was like, oh man, I remember this. And then you got all the magic cards too. So seeing like Dogmeat and like the characters, it kind of, in a weird way, it kind of works. Like the magic set, if it wasn't for the magic commander decks, I don't know if I'd really be considering watching Fallout. But because they just made the magic decks, now I'm at least thinking about it, when before I wouldn't even have been thinking about it. This is an interesting gameplay spot. So the question is, do we play Blood Moon because it doesn't die to creature removal? Or do we play Magus of the Moon because it doesn't get hit by stuff like Force of Negation? That is the question. They already use Force of Negation. The problem is Stubborn Denial. Are they more likely to have basically Lightning Bolt, or are they more likely to have a Lightning Bolt or a Stubborn Denial? Can they Leyline? White-red, they can Leyline. So Leyline gets either of them. Yeah, I think we go Magus. Magus of the Moon? Stubborn Denial, I think, is the biggest reason to play Magus. This also, I guess, actually they both get around Leyline Binding, because by the time they hit the battlefield, there'll be mountains and you don't get the cost reduction. So even if you float the mana, they don't work. So pretty much Lightning Bolt versus Stubborn Denial and Force. All right, they're going to Leyline Binding the Magda. Okay. Well, hopefully our opponent won't be casting much. We will see. They do have a 4/4 and a bunch of mountains. Opponent combat gets in. Hits us down to 10. They also have Burn in their deck. This is going to be close. Mishra's Bobble. Well, we can play a DRC. Play a Bobble. Surveil. Strike it rich to the graveyard. And crack the Bobble. Force a Negation on top. That's worth keeping in mind. That might actually be an issue. Get in, hit ya. Is there any way we can win the race? Probably not. Hit you to 14. So opponent's drawing a Force of Will. We draw Sokinzan. If they draw a Burn spell, there's not much we can do about it. Opponent combat. Oh yeah, there is a poll on what I should watch. It looks like Fallout's winning by quite a bit. So is 3-Body Problem not that good? 3-Body Problem is like losing by a ton. That was a show that I heard a lot of people talking about. Oh, another Bobble. Well, okay. Bobble. Surveil. Lightning Bolt. So we hit our point to 11. 11, 8, 5. We need Unholy Heat, right? We need Unholy Heat in it to be turned on. Yeah, I guess we gotta mill it. Mill it. And we need to dodge the force. Well, let's crack the bobble. Subtlety, too. Well, we know they're going to have Force Blue card. Blood Moon. Surveil. Blood Crypt to the graveyard. Yeah, I think I'll hit ya. Down to 9. Play Sokinzan. Draw. Oh, we know they have a counter. We know they have a counter. Maybe we need to draw a DRC for chump blocking for a turn. That might be Fable. That's not going to do it. Ah, Scion. Even without the ley line, do you have a Bolt? We know 2 of your cards are one of the unknowns a Bolt. Apparently not. Come on, deck. Come on, deck. Come on, deck. Scalding Tarn. And that does it. Oh, so close. So close. I think more people watch Fallout. I haven't checked out 3-Body Problem, but definitely worth watching after the stream. Oh, that makes sense. Maybe, yeah, Fallout just might be more popular. We didn't even have the mana to channel the land. That's kind of the other issue. We needed 4. It's more philosophical than sci-fi thriller. It's good in its own right, but Fallout being good is quite the phenomena. I'm a sucker for Walter Goggins, and he's amazing. A sucker for Walter Goggins, and he's amazing in the show. All right, it sounds like it's gonna be Fallout. I'm gonna watch Fallout. I'm gonna try it. Well, this hand looks bad, but we have double Fable, so it could actually be anything. It could even be a good hand. 3-Body might be better, but Fallout is broader. Who's watching Doctor Who next Friday? Probably not me. Who's the doctor now? Is it a new doctor or one of the old doctors? Not that I actually know much about the doctors outside of their magic cards. I watched 2 or 3 episodes when they released the Doctor Who set. Oh, it's like a brand new one. Oh, okay, that's cool. I watched like 2 or 3 episodes. One of them I really kind of liked. The other one, I don't know. I didn't really like. I think it's one of the most popular doctors, but I didn't really like the doctor compared to the first one. He was very goofy. Nikati Gatwa from Sex Education. Oh, that's sweet. I mean, honestly, I don't know. Doctor Who didn't really do it for me. Maybe the reboot will get me though. But honestly, I was kind of like middling on Doctor Who when I watched it. When they released the set, I was like, it's okay, but I can't really see myself getting super into it. Hey, welcome. I'm Tarmagoyf. So, chat, I don't know. How many of you have looked at the leaks for Modern Horizons 3? So not the official spoilers that we got, but the actual like leaks. Have most of you at least like seen some of them? Because I gotta say, hopefully this isn't spoiling too much for people, but there's a Tarmogoyf themed commander precon, and I kind of love it. I think that deck's gonna be super. It's gonna be super cool. The idea of it's just so cool. Like, they might have, the idea of Modern Horizons precons is absurd on its face. Like it is ridiculous to build commander precons for Modern Horizons set, but building commander decks that are based on iconic modern themes like Tarmogoyfs is actually a really cunning way of doing it. If that's what they're going for, I think that's actually kind of brilliant. And I think it's super cool. Like, maybe their goal is to bring modern players into Commander. I have an opinion I want your point of view on. Do you think that we, as Magic players, screwed ourselves by hitting a Mom Aftermath so much that they made TSB a part of Thunder Junction because of the decision by WotC, now some TBS cards are so outrageously expensive due to lack of supply, and in the fact that we have upshifted on commons, we as consumers are having a bad time. Had they not priced Mom Aftermath so much, I think TBS would have been amazing. That's actually a really good question. I would say no. I would say, I think that the freak out, let's see what we draw here. Do we just keep all these? I think we just keep all these. I think that the freak out about Aftermath was justified. I think that the way they did it is actually more consumer friendly. The big scorecards, I know are they a problem in paper? Let me actually look at the prices. Maybe they are higher than I remember. So I think that it's been a big negative for Arena. I think that's definitely been an issue. The big score in paper, let's look at the prices real quick. I mean, the big score in paper, right now they don't seem too bad. Like, Synthesizer is super expensive, but it's kind of busted in Modern and Legacy. Sword of Wealth and Power, I guess it's a sword and they're always expensive. This doesn't look absurd to me, though. Like, if you just compare it to, like, Thunder Junction, the price distribution seems pretty regular, right? You have a few high-end cards, a bunch of low-end cards. So I think this is better. I think the reason the Aftermath ended up being so cheap is that they really just, messed that release up in so many ways. So I guess, from a perspective of a singles buyer, maybe Aftermath in some ways is better because those cards were just so incredibly cheap. But I feel like Aftermath was just a negative overall because it was such a greedy way to release those cards. So I think it's better this way. Outside of Arena, I think is the worst of them. Is one bearded man to another handsome bearded man. How do you keep yours so glorious and Viking little beard oil, little combing. Honestly, I don't put that much effort into the beard. The whole point of not the whole point of having a beard. One of the main points of having a beard, I would say, is you don't have to shave. Honestly, that is one of the biggest upsides. Shaving kind of sucks. So the big upside is you don't have to shave anymore. And it kind of defeats the purpose if you got to spend a ton of time maintaining your beard. So, I don't know, my beard's been pretty easy. I'm going to Casa Bonita next weekend. What is Casa Bonita? I feel like I should know what this is, but I don't. I feel like I've heard it before, but I'm actually not sure what Casa Bonita is. Well, let's Ren's Resolve into even more Ren's Resolves. Wow, that is the worst. How are we drawing so many lands in an 18-land deck? How is this even possible? All right, Bloodstained Mire. And, yeah, I mean, I guess we just pass. Wait, this is an 18-land deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've drawn half of our lands. Opponent. Oh. Okay. Yeah. For some reason, I was thinking way too seriously. I was not thinking animated shows. I do know what you mean. Opponent, combat, attacks. Wait, don't we just get to kill this? Am I missing something? What am I missing here? Or are they scamming? Yeah, alright, well, that's bad. That is bad news. Unfortunately, all the lands in the world are not going to get us out of this. Well, I'm starting to feel like this deck might not be very good. Infamous small Japanese tournaments. You never know. Like, I would say, what is our hit rate with infamous small Japanese tournaments? I'd say, like, 1 out of 5 decks are, like, awesome. And then some of the other 4 out of 5, maybe, like, 3 out of 5 are, man, then 1 out of 5 is, like, ultra jank. It's probably somewhere in that range, I think. And this one's got Blood Moon too, but we keep playing against Scam, and Scam can like play Blood Moon. We have not had many good Blood Moon matchups. Did you ever find out the difference between Vermin and Varmint? Actually, yes. Someone in the... Oh, we're just hard locked, right? So now they can... Reflections of Kiki Jiki the Grief every time we draw a card. So I think that means we're just locked out of playing Magic here. So we're probably... Well, I guess we could draw Bolt. Oh, they're going to cast another Fable. Yeah, we're just... Scam seems better than us, I think. Pound it. Void... I mean, we also drew every land in our deck. Somehow, some way. I mean, not really. We blow up a land, but we give them a basic land. So, I mean, if they have no basics, it might do something, but unfortunately, Volatile Fault is not a Wasteland or a Strip Mine. What about Wasteland in MH3? Can we get a Wasteland? Well, we might as well do a basic land check on the way out the door. There's no way we can win from here. How many basics do you have, opponent? Okay, more. Do you still have more basics? What's this, the Tomer mana base? How many basics is Scam playing these days? 4. All right, well, is there any way? I mean, yeah, we're just going to game number 2. Small Japanese tournaments remind me of some inbred metas where the deck overperforms because the player knows exactly what they're going at. I mean, I think what it actually comes down to a lot of the times is if you look at the actual tournaments, a lot of them are, well, not a lot of them. Well, yeah, I guess a lot of them are 8 players, maybe 12 players, maybe the bigger ones a lot of times. There are some really big ones. Like, there are some big tournaments in Japan, but a lot of the ones that get posted are 8 players, 12 players, 20 players maybe. So I think sometimes a deck like top 8's by default. So you don't really know the record. All you really know is that the deck made the top 8. But in an 8-player tournament, you know, a top 8 in an 8-player tournament, you could play anything. You could play 75 lands and you'd be in the top 8 of an 8-player tournament. So I think sometimes it might be someone who makes the top 8, but they actually went like 1 in 3 or something, and like didn't, or it was 0 in 4 or 0-2 drop, and you just don't actually know. I take Wasteland and trade it for Ren. I mean, you have to ban Ren for sure, right? There's no way that you can have Ren be legal. Well, we got to take out the Blood Moons. Our opponent could very well be playing Blood Moons. So bringing Brothers to Dens. I guess explosives? And we gotta worry about getting scammed too? Alright. Well, yeah, let's try it like that. Brothers to Den, 1 explosives, run it like that. Would Sinkhole be too good in Modern? Oh, that's a tough one. I mean, so Stone Rain's not good enough. So maybe? The problem with Stone Rain is, like, if you're on the play and your opponent, like, you just go land lane Sinkhole, it puts you so far behind. So yeah, it probably is too good. Like, Sinkhole, I would be down with it. I'd be down with it. Wasteland and Days are a mistake in Legacy. I personally don't want them in Modern. I mean, I think Days is a mistake. Is Wasteland, like, do you think Wasteland is actually a mistake? Or is the Delver shell just too strong in Legacy? I think that's the question. Hey, Seth. Been playing this deck in Timeless. It's Slime Against Humanity in a hideaway deck. It's been not great but super fun. Ooh, not great but super fun is my kind of deck. Well, let's Dragon Rage Channeler, Mishra's Bobble. See if we can surveil into Unholy Heat. We probably need a land. Let's go Graveyard. And pass the turn. Let's do a little Bobble Kraken. See what our opponent might be drawing. Just a swamp. All right. Hideaway Slimes. So Slimes, Grim Tutor, Surgical, Fight Rigging. That is a really funny idea. So if you can get a slime in the graveyard, you can Surgical all of them. Or most of them. Make them super big, and then Fight Rigging. I guess you could Fight Rigging out a slime. The slimes are big enough to turn on Fight Rigging. Or you could Fight Rigging into an Emrakul. That is a super funny idea. I like it. Well, we hit a land, which is nice. I am very, very worried about Scam coming to Modern. I think that's a real concern. I am really or not coming to Modern, coming to Arena. I am actually very worried about that. Yeah, let's go Graveyard Chandra. We almost have our Unholy Heat turned on. Turn on the DRC. Go to combat. Get in, hit ya. Down to 17. Hopefully. Well, all right. Found that Fatal Push. Sure. What stops Scam in Legacy? I mean, so Scam does see play in Legacy. It doesn't see as it hasn't been as dominant as in Modern. Do we? Let's wait. We kind of want to. Don't mind drawing another land, I guess. All right, so we draw the land. Bloodstained Mire. Crack it. Grab a mountain and actually, you know what? Crack this too. So I think in Legacy, Scam is good. It's actually, I mean, I guess it depends on how you think of it. So right now, the most played deck in Legacy is Reanimator, which is kind of scammy. Like, it's playing 4 Greaves, and then you can reanimate the Greaves. Although obviously you can reanimate other things as well. But yeah, Sultai Scam, Mono Black Scam, those are both like solid second tier-ish Legacy decks. So it is just it's a really, really strong plan. I guess probably the biggest difference is you have a lot of free counter magic in Legacy. Like, you have the Force of Wills, you have the Dazes. So I think that keeps it from dominating to the same aspect that it dominates in a format like Modern that doesn't have those pieces. But it's still legit. Have you played the Orzhov Norse deck? A little bit. It is a super cool deck. We might have to do that one for a stream. It is funny. Like, at first it looked really weird, but when you think of it like a combo deck, it actually plays pretty well. Do you think that Show and Tell would be okay in Modern? There's more answers than there are in Timeless. No. Show and Tell is not okay in Timeless either, I don't think. I think Show and Tell is just a mess up card. Like, are there more? I guess there's like sort of more answers because there's Force and Negation, but I'm not even sure that that's enough. Like, Show and Tell is often, or has often been, one of the best decks in Legacy. And Legacy has all the best interaction in the history of the world. Oh, come on now. Hidasugu consumes all. Yeah, talking about leaks are fine. Can't break me. Don't post, like, card images of leaks. I guess you can't really do that in Twitch chat anyway. But yeah, talking about them is fine. Another bolt. Well, I mean, we have not been getting that much value out of these fables because our hands have been decent. There's a Magda. Well, I mean, I guess we play it. We got no treasure. Magda has not been that impressive. Like, the idea of Magda is cool, but Magda has not actually impressed me as a modern card. Magda, it might just not be good enough to be a modern card. Like, how many times have we made a dragon with Magda? I think we've seen it pop off like once or twice. But the idea of like, oh, we're going to make 2 or 3 dragons all in one turn doesn't actually seem that realistic in this deck. I'm sure there is a way, playing jankier cards like Bootlegger Stash or something, to make a huge pile of treasures. But it turns out in practice, yeah, I mean, I think we just got to let this Ragavan hit happen, unfortunately. We have all of our burn in hand, so opponent steals a Volatile Fault. I mean, we can... Ingrass Rampage. Sure. Well, Ren's Resolve. Flip the Fable. Do some resolving. Well, alright. Our turn to dash a Ragavan, I guess. Ragavan. Hit ya. Make a treasure. Alright, we steal our opponent's land. Well, pass the turn. Pick up the monkey. I bought your Simic Burn list for my standard showdown a couple weeks ago. I got to the top 8, only 8 people showed up. What do you think about sideboarding out doppelgangs for some big stompy threats once people know your plan? I think that's probably a pretty good idea. What do you think the best option would be? What big sideboarding threats are you thinking of? Maybe like the Toxic Dinosaur could be good. Like Bonnie Paul's reasonable. Well, bolt the monkey. Opponent. 4 mana. Grief. Alright, does some griefing. Volborn Tyrant could be good. Yeah, some sort of... So the challenge of the deck is, if once your opponent knows what they're doing, if your opponent's halfway decent, they will probably sit on... counter spells and make it a lot harder. Bolt the Vessel. Dash the Ragavan. Go to combat. Hit you with the monkey. Opponent trades. Now let's... EE on 1. Actually, 1 or 2. Maybe 2's better. Alright, let's go 2. Scaldy Dart, Craggit, Mountain, and Engineered Explosives on 2. 2 gets rid of Voidwalker and Bowmasters. Well, pass the turn. Archfiend Boat. Ooh, opponent finds another Fable. That's concerning. That is concerning. And we put the EE on 2. Come on, deck. Well, I mean, Ren's Resolve. That is something. This deck's just so airy. There's no... The deck feels so airy. Like, we have 34 cards left in our deck, and I don't feel like the deck has a very real plan for winning. I don't know, maybe we're playing it wrong. Maybe we're doing it wrong somehow. Maybe we're just playing it wrong, but if you can't make treasures, or if you can't make dragons with Magda, our creatures are just so underpowered. Opponent gets in. Makes a treasure. Sure, we will take it. Opponent down to 11. I mean, if we can do some crime in. We can make some treasures and eventually a dragon. Volatile Vault. Well, alright. Volatile Vault. Go to combat. Do some attacking. I mean, that does technically make 2 treasures, which is something. They have a bow. Yep. Bowmaster's gonna kill the reflection. No. 2 of them? Yikes. Well, okay. We got one more game to go with this deck, and we're gonna write this one off as, wow, one of the worst decks we've played in a minute. I think Mono Blue Mill will always go down as the worst deck that we've played in from an infamous small Japanese tournament. Hey, what's up, Jep? Bat, how are you? Good to see you. Hey, what's up, Daniel? Good to see you. Good to see you. Do you think Aftermath Analyst combo can work in Pioneer? I've seen some people playing it in Hey, see you, Lucid. Thanks for hanging out. I've seen some people playing it in Explorer, which is pretty pioneer-y. It's like it can function. I don't think I've lost to it yet, so I don't know if it's actually good. But I have seen people playing it, and you do get some nice additions. You can play like Omnath for landfall synergies. You got Lotus Cobra is like another Nissa. So you do get some upgrades to it. It's still got kind of the same issue of... It's really soft to graveyard hate. And it gets the extra issue of... those formats are just faster, right? So, like, getting up to 6 mana to play and crack your Aftermath Analyst in a turn, not as realistic in Pioneer as it is in, like, Standard. So that's, like, the other challenge is, it's just, like, Standard's kind of a slow format, so you can get away with a lot in Standard. Not necessarily as much in Pioneer, but I do think it, like, has some potential at least. I think we just upkeep Unholy Heat. See if we can surveil into a land. All right, that's a land. That's good. Leave the land on top. Get rid of the Ragavod. Mountain and Strike It Rich. And do some surveilling. Strike It Rich to the... I mean, maybe... Should we just be keeping all of the Strike It Riches on top? Nah, there's no way. Okay, we gotta go Graveyard. I wonder if we should just be, like, super aggressive with keeping anything that can make a treasure and never spending our treasures to try to turn on Magda. Yeah, it has a little bit, hasn't it, Alex? Like, it feels like the power level is just not especially high. Well, okay, we're up against a Teething Wormlet deck, so this might be a fair battle. I have not seen too many Teething Wormlets in Modern. All right. We draw Fable the Mirror Breaker. Well, let's just Ren's Resolve. Hit our land, hopefully. Oh, Magda, gotta go. It's gotta go Graveyard, unfortunately. Well, there's a Mountain and Dragon Rage Channeler. And I guess we get in with one of them. If you want to trade with the Wormlet, that's fine. About it. Takes it down to 15. The Archfiend's Boat deck looks fun, Paladin. I mean, Archfiend of the Dross can definitely get in for a lot of damage if you can haste it in. It seems like kind of a aggressive, like a big aggressive Rakdos mid-range deck. So I like it. That looks fun. Are they playing Wormlet and Asmo now? I guess that would make sense. Oh, Asmo. Urza Saga. By the way, I playing Colossus in Moto. It's been very fun. I was thinking of an IRL, but Simulacrum Synthesizer is so expensive. Holy MTG Goldfish. Oh, Daniel, you play Magic Online, right? I'm pretty sure you play Magic Online. Daniel, I'm gonna send you a message real quick. Hang on. Daniel from Brazil. Daniel, I'm sending you a message. I got a gift for you. Courtesy of Daybreak Games. It is a code that's good for 120 play points. So enough to you can do a draft, you can do a league, whatever. Use them however you see fit. But I got some play point codes to give away. So it won't help you buy a synthesizer because they're play points, but I mean, you could do like a draft and draft one maybe, or win a league. You can win a league maybe and use the proceeds to go for them. Let's Fable the Mirror Breaker. Do you play Moto, Mother Frogger? I have two more play point codes to give away. Did anyone else in the chat right now? Will anyone else actually play Moto and use them? If anyone else will, do you, Delphi Guru? All right, Delphi, I got you. Okay, I think I got them. I think I got them for now. Delphi Guru. All right, let me see here. Oh no, there's too many. The good news is there's gonna be more coming. Delphi Guru spoke up first. So Delphi, I got a code coming your way. Yeah, I will say this Moto Creator Program, I like these perks. Like Arena Creator Program, I guess I'm not in the Arena Creator Program, so maybe that's the problem. The ambassador thing or whatever. But the Moto Creator Program, I've actually been really impressed that like they just got it up and running and they just like give you codes to give away to people and the God account to use. Like I've been very impressed with how well like the benefits of the Moto Creator Program. So there will be more giveaways coming. That's one of the perks of the Moto Creator Program. All right, Urza's Saga ticking up. So the question here is, I mean, we probably just go for lethal, right? We have this bolt in hand. We'll see what our opponent plays here. We could bolt the Inti. So Construct gains a life? Okay. I mean, right now we still have lethal. Oval Chase Daredevil, sure. Bouncing back. And Moto's been getting better and better. As far as the cost, like it's actually improved a surprising amount. Yeah, I'm sure there'll be some sweet Modern Horizons 3 cards for Pauper. Yeah, I've been impressed. I thought, honestly, oh no. Oh, that Mox Amber actually changes the math, doesn't it? Okay, well, we have Chandra, so I think we're still okay. But that does gain them an additional life. There's the Mox Amber. And it makes an additional mana? If they end up staying alive, I'm going to be kind of sad here. Opponent makes it back up to 10. Gets back the Daredevil. They need more artifacts. Really? Really, really, really? Asmo. Oh, now I don't know what we do. I thought we were just going to get lethal, but now it looks like we're not going to get lethal. Underworld Cookbook. So we can hit our opponent for 10, but they're up to 11. Up to 12. This Wormlet's popping off, and they find a Shadow Sphere. Oh, this Wormlet gains so much life. Oh, no. All right, so I guess we gotta literally just draw another Bolt. That would be our potential out. Like, once our opponent untaps, this loop is going to get impossible. Strike it rich. That doesn't do it. So discard Strike it rich. Discard Fable. Well, we can Ren's resolve. We need a bolt. We need a bolt. We need a bolt. We get 2 surveils. Is it a bolt? It is a bolt. Okay, top. Wow. Maybe. Unless I'm missing something, I think we found it. Top and top. This should be Exacxies, right? 6, 79, 10, 11, 12. Combat. Hit ya. I guess we'll attack with the Goblin 2. Get the treasure. Opponent. Bolt for the win. Bolt for the win. I've seen CDH be a bigger thing amongst players than I realized. And having played against Urza, I kind of want to build a Lavinia Xerus Renegade CDH deck. Do you think it's a viable commander and deck to make? I feel like it would be more stacksy in nature. So, I think so. I think you're on the right track. If I was going to build Lavinia, it would definitely be a stacks deck. No, you get to play both. You get to play both with Ren's Resolve. Ren's Resolve is actually really good. It's essentially just a draw 2. As long as you can use the cards, a draw 2 for 2. Thankfully, we don't even really need it because we just bolt, and that should be 12. Whew. All right. Well, that was scary. That Teething Wormlet almost gained enough life to survive. I've heard about, oh, I'm so sorry, welcome back to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup chat for you, thank you. 25 months, but I've been sub since the days of the OG Rhino deck. All the love, Seth. Well, forward, thank you so much. Definitely appreciate it. Welcome back to the Fishbowl. And Fazzo, welcome you back to the Fishbowl as well. Big scoops cheer for you, thank you. Speaking of CDH, I've heard some like rumblings behind the scene that the Wizards is actually gonna go hard on CDH. I actually think that the possibility of like a CDH Pro Tour or something is becoming more realistic. This isn't something that's confirmed. I haven't heard anyone say there's gonna be a CDH Pro Tour, but just adding together all the little pieces of like that I keep hearing from people about Wizards wanting to support CDH events, about CDH tournaments that are growing, all this stuff. It seems like the trajectory we're on is like, even if it's not a CDH Pro Tour, and I think that might actually be a possibility at this point, but I think we're gonna see that be a thing. Like, you know how there's like Command Fest or whatever, or old GPs. I would not be surprised if we saw like a GP level CDH event or something. Like, I think that's a path we're going on, which means I guess if you're someone who's interested in competitive Commander, this might actually be like the time to get in on it. This might actually be the time. Is Blood Moon worth it? Is this another bad Blood Moon matchup? I feel like it is. Let's look at an Asmore deck. Asmore food. So they can cast Asmore. They don't have that many basics. Huh. But a lot of their cards are red. They have Ragavan treasures. Yeah, I think this is not worth Blood Moon, sadly. I feel like we've done a lot of siding out of our dear Blood Moons this match. And then, I want to see, this is Magda's last chance to pop off. Started playing MTG for the first time 20 years ago, instantly got hooked on into EDH, now tilting towards CDH. Feels like it'll be a thing in the future. Yeah, I actually think that's kind of like where it's heading. How long before the meta is solved? I mean, isn't it already kind of solved? Sorta. I don't know, like, if there's any big CDH players in here, let me know. But my perception of CDH as someone who plays CDH like a couple times a year is that it's pretty solved and you just like Thoracle, and that's the best thing going, and it will be forever. So I don't know. I guess like, I don't know. For me, and I guess it depends on your perspective. I've come to realize this from talking to Krim on the podcast recently. when we talk about like the last Pro Tour, we talk about like the last Pro Tour. To me, I'm like, oh, all these decks are boring, or like not boring, but like none of these decks are new. I've seen all these decks a million times. Like I was hoping for something more out of the Pro Tour. Like it was still great games of Magic to watch, but I was hoping for like some brand new breakout deck. And Krim on the other hand is like, wow, they played like, you know, a couple of copies of 3 Steps Ahead in Blue-White Control. The innovation was like mind-blowing. It was so fresh and new. So a lot of it's just your perspective on things, I think. Ash Lizzle is playing Merfolk on Arena with the Professor. The prof does like his Merfolk. Well, let's strike it, Rich. This is a pretty mediocre start with this Teething Wormlet popping off. Well, Mishra's Bobble, go. Yeah, Kibler's deck was sweet. The Joda deck. There were a few like further down decks that didn't actually like make it to the top 8 or anything that were pretty spicy. The Jund Analyst deck was pretty cool. That's another one that I think we might play sometime. I still want to play the Bronco deck sometime because that deck's just funny. And then we might play the Jund Analyst deck with Pitiless Carnage. We're trying, although this deck, the power level just has not been there for this one so far. we're one in 3. Bounty gets in, hits us. Sure, down to 15. I mean, at some point there's something to be said for just playing Tarmogoyfs. The Tarmogoyf Commander deck. Oh, I want that deck. It's such a cool idea. My hype level for the Commander decks from MH3 has went up quite a bit because of that. They might actually be doing it right somehow. Well, let's Mishra's Bobble. Let's do this properly. Mishra's Bobble. Take a peek at our deck. Do we want to shuffle it? It's a Magda. I mean, we came here to Magda, so Magda we will. We'll play a land. We will dash a Ragavan. We will get in with the Ragavan. We will make a treasure. We will steal an Inti. Ooh. Huh. Do we play the Inti? We have a Magda on top, but Magda wants treasures. Oh, we gotta play Inti, I think. Inti's good enough to run out. Let's play the Inti. Pick up the monkey, pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Well, there's our Magda, now that we cash in all of our treasures. Hey, Seth, is Esper Sentinel an EDH staple? I rarely see it played in Modern or Legacy. Just wondering why its price is still high in paper. It is... Wow, you got another one. It is one of the best and most played white cards in Commander. And it does see... So the meta is kind of... The Bowmaster meta has really hurt Esper Sentinel in 60-card formats. Before we had Bowmasters come around, it was like a legit staple and it was seeing a ton of play. Now it's kind of been relegated to much more fringe play just because Bowmasters it lines up so well with it and so many decks play it. Like Bowmasters, WotC math. It's kind of like girl math. In the sense that I guess it makes sense to you, but not anyone else or something. But it's like the WotC math of oh man, are we losing to Asmore now? The WotC math of Bowmasters and being like, oh, we can't have like punishing fire in Modern because it keeps small creatures out of the format. Bowmasters is literally one of the most punishing cards of all time at keeping small creatures out of the format. And we're seeing that with Esper Sentinel. Just like, you can't play it. You can't play it because it just does not line up with Does not line up with Bowmasters. I really wonder. You can see with the spoilers we've seen, it's wild. If you look at the Modern Horizon spoilers that we've seen officially, you can tell that they're building the cards with Bowmasters in mind. Like, a Johnny having an extra toughness, being a 1/2, like that lets it survive in Orcish Bowmasters. There's so many of the cards. Psychic Frog, it's a 1/2. White of the Reliquary starts off as a 2/2. You can tell that as they were designing these cards, and it's even more apparent if you look at the leaks rather than just the official spoilers. But you can tell that they're designing cards with the Bowmasters meta in mind. It kind of is the new Fury, right? In some sense, except in some ways it's kind of like worse than Fury. I mean, I think that Bowmasters in some ways has a more of a negative impact on Dies to Doomblade. The thing, like, so Dies to Doomblade, everything dies to Doomblade. I know technically non-black or whatever, non-black creatures, but really, like, everything dies to Doomblade, so it kind of hates on everything equally. Like, that's just an issue with any creature can die to a Doomblade. Something like Bowmasters or Punishing Fire or Fury to a lesser extent, they really hate on specific cards. I think that, yeah, we see cards that have 1 toughness, like Esper Sentinel. They get the double whammy because of Bowmasters in Ren and 6, and you can't play them anymore. You can't play them, which I guess is too bad. I like Esper Sentinels. I think Esper Sentinel's a cool card. But it is a little sad that you just can't really play it. Yeah, we're super far behind on this one. Tarmogoyf. We're losing to Tarmogoyf. Our Unholy Heat's not even big enough to kill anything. So I guess we can attack with Inti. We need to discard a card just to turn on... We need to turn on the Unholy Heat so we can kill something. So we'll discard Ragavan. Trigger Inti, counter on Inti. I don't even think this really saves us. Man, Magda has... I don't know. Magda has not looked impressive. Is Magda not good, chat? Is that where we're landing on this? Is Magda just not very good? I don't even know what we kill here. Tarmogoyf's the biggest. I mean, we're probably just dead no matter what we do, in all honesty. Yeah, I mean, Ren and 6, in Legacy, there's also Wasteland. So that was also the double whammy of having Wasteland there. Let's pass the turn. Opponent, Bloodstained Maya. Underworld Cookbook. I mean, at this point, we're right at this is the last match of our league anyway, so we're definitely finishing off our league. See if we can get a win with it. We got to give Magda their fair shake. I was hoping we'd make more dragons, though, I will say. Yeah, we're just dead, right? Trample. Oh, I didn't even discard, so I guess we can chump and live? Although, yeah, I mean, we don't have a catch-up card here. Yeah, I think that was a big deal with the card in Legacy is essentially like turn 2 Ren with Ren and 6 with Wasteland just hard locks your opponent out of the game, which is kind of brutal. It was kind of a bit much. So I think that means they're never going to put Wasteland in Modern, right? Or if they do, they're going to have to ban Ren. I would actually be fine with that. If I had to choose between Ren and Wasteland, I'd probably pick Wasteland. Not that I think Wasteland is necessarily healthy for Modern, but I do like it. I think I would enjoy it. You could just blow up lands, and blowing up lands is fun. So I think I would enjoy that part of it. It would probably be bad for the health of format, but at least you're blowing up lands. Lots of things are bad for you. We get to play first. All right, Magda, this is your chance. If you're gonna prove you're a Modern card, Magda, this is your time. This is your time to prove to everyone that you can be a Modern card. I think we've made 2 dragons over the course of our league, which is just not enough. We need more dragons out of Magda. All right, we got a monkey. We got a strike it rich. No Magda, but we can maybe find one. Even a fair Wasteland would be meta warping. Would it? Ragavan, go. I mean, Amulet Titan deserves their lands blown up, or Tron. I mean, they're adding all these soul lands to Modern. Re-harkening Eldrazi winner. If there was ever a time to put a wasteland, it's probably now, I would think. I mean, this whole conversation probably doesn't really matter because I think the odds of them actually putting wasteland in Modern is very close to 0. Vince is playing some Modern. Ooh. Let's take a peek here. Take a peek. Mountain. Do not want. So Scalding Tarn. Crack Scalding Tarn. Shuffle away the Mountain. And pass turn. I mean, we have a Fable for next turn, which is nice. Are we raiding Tomer after this one? Probably either Tomer or Vince. It might be Vince because I think Tomer usually wraps up kind of shortly after I do. So we might go with Vince today, especially since Vince is playing some Modern and we've been playing Modern today. So it might be Pleasant Kenobi raid day. Pound it hits us with the Inti. Breakout this is a card that people thought it was good during spoiler season, but I've started to see it more and more. I think it's finding its footing, and it seems actually pretty good. Getting a hasty 2-drop for 2 mana is kind of powerful. DRCA. Huh. Well, okay. The weird thing about this deck that I haven't really figured out yet is, are we supposed to be like aggressively saving treasures in case we draw Magda? Or in a hand like this, are we supposed to be spending our treasures to like maximize our turns and our value? Maybe the trick of the deck that we just haven't done enough is maybe we're just like never supposed to spend a treasure. Maybe every treasure we make, we just never spend it. We're like, we're going to just save this for when we find Magda. That would definitely power up Magda. But then what happens when you don't draw Magda and you just all have all these treasures that aren't doing anything? That's kind of the other concern. Yeah, Tomer's budget commander. Potent, wow, Haywire Might to get rid of the Fable. That's actually kind of brutal. Kind of wanted to discard some of these cards. Both of these cards, really. Pound grows the Inti. Goes attacking. See, like, even if we draw Magda here, we don't really have any treasures for it. Actually, we could get there with Volatile Fault. Magda would be good. Magda would be fine. Magda? Strike it rich. Well, okay. Strike it rich. Surveil. Ragavan. Graveyard, I think. Volatile Fault. And Flashback, Strike it rich. Magda. Fable. Alright, we'll keep the Fable. Go to combat. Hit ya. The race is on. Make another treasure. I mean, if we found a Magda, we have enough treasures to activate it. About it. Teething Wormlet. Come on, no artifacts. No. Ooh, double Wormlet. Okay. And attacks. And discards an Inti. Oh, scales it. Come on, not an artifact. Oh, bubble. Oh, that's so incredibly bad for us. Wow. Oh, what a hit for our opponent. What a hit. Hit the artifact. Double Teething Wormlet. Grows them both. Gains a bunch of life. Yeah, that probably does it. About it. Yeah, that was a good bobbling. Unfortunate. And now, like, we can play the Fable, but it doesn't even really do anything. Fable. Make a 2/2. Get rid of the Mountain. And, well, now I guess we have to stay on defense? We have to stay on defense or we just die? Well, hit you for 3. All right. Even if we find Magda, we get to make a... not enough. We can't even wipe the Inti, so it's not a very appealing wipe. We, like, wipe our entire board and wipe not our opponent's biggest creature. So that's kind of the issue. If we could wipe the Inti as well, then it would be appealing. But just wiping our entire board and leaving our opponent with the Inti, I think that just guarantees that we lose. All right, opponent hits us down to 3. They found a Tarmogoyf from their Inti. And opponent's just going to pass. All right, we draw a Ren's Resolve. Okay. So how could we get out of this? We Ren's Resolve into an Unholy Heat. All right, so I guess we got to keep it. We got to draw Unholy Heat. That's step 1. So Ren's Resolve. Got to be Unholy Heat. Mishra's Bauble is not Unholy Heat to the graveyard. 2 cards. Unholy Heat. Another Ren's Resolve. Okay. Ren's Resolve for an Unholy Heat? Maybe? Lightning Bolt. Does that do anything? Actually, that can do it, right? That can do it. So you can put that on top. I mean, I'm still not sure this is going to be enough, but we'll see. So Fable, Lightning Bolt. We play the Scalding Tarn. We go to combat. We swing with everything. Why did our opponent not cast the Tarmogoyf? Attack, attack, attack. Maybe they have a Bowmaster. That might be a Bowmaster. I think Bowmaster... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Turn the Earth. Okay, that's fine. If that's the reason they didn't play Tarmogoyf, we're kind of okay with that. All right, we got a shot. We actually got a shot here. We actually got a shot. So we make 2 more treasures. Opponent gets to choose. Yeah, that's going to be the question, is if we crack the Scalding Tarn. Opponent trades. So we're probably dead to break out no matter what. But we do want to maintain the treasures. All right, I think what we do, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're not going to crack the Tarn. 1, 2, 3. 3 damage to each creature. And each Planeswalker. Good thing our opponent didn't play the Tarmogoyf. That would have been bad. If they actually played the Tarmogoyf, that would have just got us. And then Lightning Bolt, the Inti. The board is clear. We have a Fable that's going to flip. Another one in exile for next turn. Maybe. Come on, no breakout. Or is this Saga? I mean, that is a problem. But not a problem for right now. Opponent passes. You know what? Now we crack the Scalding Tarn, I think. Thin the deck. Go to 2. Grab a land. I guess we can Volatile Fault it. Magda? Magda would be so good here. Unlicensed Hearse. All right, flip the Fable. Play the Fable. Number 2. And then Volatile Fault. Blow up the Saga. Get a treasure. Sure. I think we might be getting it. I think we might maybe be getting it. Oh, this game is actually very close. Found it. Oh, they can turn the Earth again? Sure. Turn the Earth is fine. I don't even know why they really brought that in against us, but okay. Opponent gains some life. Shuffles in some cards. Untaps. We die to a bolt. If they draw a bolt, we just die. All right, another Inti. Inti's scary. That is a scary one. Bone it. Pass in. Well, we do have Fable to filter. Unholy Heat's good. Unholy Heat's very good. Let's discard a Unlicensed Durst. Keep the Unholy Heat. Another Fault. Well. Well, let's copy the Goblin. Go to combat. Attack with the Goblin. With a Goblin. Hit ya. Down to 10. Unholy Heat. The Inti. Play the Fault. Pass the turn. Hold. Hold. No bolts. No bolts. No break opens. Tarmogoyf. Alright, that's a biggin. That is a biggin. Opponent. Passes. We draw. A bolt. Okay. I'll pass the turn. I mean, can we just win with reflections here? Wait, you can put tokens in your library now? Wait, is that a real thing? I think stuff is coming with tokens. I think changes are coming. We should be able to just win with reflections, right? Copy. Unless they do removal. Copy. 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 Well, we didn't find the Magda. Okay, so we actually, after all this, all the ups and downs, I think we actually just finished with a 3-2? Or a 2-3, which isn't great, but that's actually not bad. I would not be surprised if tokens go in the library soon. Like, with the changes they're making with tokens, I would not be surprised. I could see that rule change actually being a thing. An opponent scooped it up? Or are we just freezing? Oh, we're just freezing. All right. Copy, copy, copy. Watch our opponent have a fog. If the fog met is real, our opponent wins. That's all they need. That's all they need is a fog. That's it. A fog wins our opponent the game. Do you have a fog opponent? Do you have a fog opponent? Opponent blocks. And do they fog? No. Whew. 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 Well, okay. So that deck, I don't know what to think. I know if they had the fog, I would have accepted that loss. If they got us with a fog, that would have been totally worth it. I don't know what to say about this deck. So we went 2-3. Obviously not the best record. We won our first one, run our last one. In between, we don't talk about those matches. I feel like I'm not sure. I think I'm going to have to play this deck again. And I think when I play the deck again, I'm going to focus on trying to very aggressively hoard my treasures. I mean, it is Magda the Hoard Master, and I feel like maybe that's how you're supposed to play the card. We didn't really try to hoard treasures for Magda, and it seemed like Magda just wasn't good enough in that context. Like, if you're not having, like, a bunch of treasures on the battlefield, Magda's just kind of a 2-mana 2-2, and we don't really have much of a top end, so just extra mana doesn't necessarily do a ton. So I feel like maybe, it might be worth trying the deck again at some point. But trying to just hoard treasures aggressively, because we did get to see 4/4 Hasty Flyers be really good in the games that they happened. They just didn't happen that much. But overall, I mean, we got some good Blood Moons, a couple of good Blood Moons. We also had some bad Blood Moon matches, so I don't know. I would say overall, I felt like the deck wasn't super competitive, but maybe we were playing it a little wrong by not hoarding our treasures enough for Magda, and maybe that would make Magda better, but anyway, everyone. Yeah, so I was thinking about tokens. They've already changed having double-sided tokens. We saw, actually one of the one of the leaks for Modern Horizons 3, there's a card that makes a Tarmogoyf token. It just says, when this does something, make a Tarmogoyf token. And the Tarmogoyf token actually has like the full mana cost and everything. And then we saw these name tokens for Bloomburrow that were like token creatures, but they had mana costs and everything. So I feel like we're going to see more of that. Kind of like Roxanne, we saw making a Meteorite token. I think Wizards is embracing that aspect of like cards that make other cards, almost like a paper version of some alchemy mechanics. And once you have tokens that have mana costs, then all of a sudden the possibility of a token going in your library becomes more realistic, right? Because what do you do if you shuffle a 1/1 spirit token with no mana cost into your library? Like, you can't really do anything with it. But well, yes, they did do a cycle of those in Future Sight. But remember, Future Sight is supposed to show off stuff coming in the future. And I think we've reached that point in the future. It took like 15, 16, 17 years, something like that. It took like 17 years, but I think we've reached the point where we're going to see this be like an actual heavily represented mechanic in Magic now. That's my guess. And if tokens start having mana symbols, then in theory they could go into your library. When they don't have many mana symbols, then I don't know how you put them in your library. It'd be very awkward. So not that they will change that rule, but I could see that being a possibility when before I couldn't even see that being a possibility. So we could actually get a pack rat token. Maybe we actually get a pack rat token. Anyway, everyone, I think that brings us to the end of our stream for today. Let me see if I can find a Vincent switch. That brings us to the end of our stream for today. So Magda Moon, it was pretty sweet. We got to do some blood mooning, 2-in-1, pretty good overall. But we'll be back next Tuesday to have some more fun. Should be a normal stream next week. The week after that is when spoilers start. But reminders on the way out the door. Replay YouTube. That's where you find all your old streams. Normal YouTube. Tons of stuff coming up on there. And one more reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom. And if you need some magical cards, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Even get a free sticker. Just ask for one. Let them know in the order notes. I'll hook you up. Most importantly, thank you to all of you. Y'all are amazing and awesome and spectacular. And I love you all so very much. I hope you have an amazing night. I will give Cece some nice scratches, bear some good pets from all y'all. So have an amazing night, everyone. Have a great week. I love y'all, and I will talk to you soon.